Candace Owens destroys all opponents. Never debate Candace Owens. Pam Bondi Epstein drama. We're going to get into it all. But before we start the show, I want to give y'all some throwbacks just to let y'all know why my girl is not to be messed with.
Welcome to the show.
Now, this is with Don Lemon back in the days. You know what I'm saying? Not back in the days, but not too far.
I appreciate you joining us. Things that I do where I say, you know what? Candace got it right. I like it. And there are other things where I'm like, oh my gosh, why?
Now, some people saying that she's anti-Trump. Some people saying that she's anti-Republican. You know, and she tells you very clearly she's not a part of the Republican Party. So I don't know why y'all would expect her to be speaking up for the Republicans. Anything, she's blowing, you know what I mean, blowing people's spots up. You know,
saying that, right? And this is one thing that I've been wanting to ask you about, Candace, because it really bothered me. But I want the explanation in the context, as you say.
Do you have any clips of anything that like you agreed with, or we're just gonna like pretend this is a friendly interview as you can like, okay. Just wondering, is there even one clip of something that you agree with?
I don't know. Maybe I agree with the next clip, but anyway, roll the next clip, please.
And that is another way that they've psychologically.
I like the way she straight up calls him an MOOK. You know what I'm saying? Salute to everybody. Ja, TSTV already. R. Henny, Carlton. Who's Ja? Is that my man? Tell me something. If you from my block, tell me a name from the block that nobody else would know.
Tried to
I'm gonna wrench you up. You know what I'm saying? Carton in the building.
Transform speech in America by saying like, oh, okay, you have free speech, but if you say that word, like if you say like, oh, that's whack or that's gay, then that would make.
Now, I do want to let y'all know right now. You know what I'm saying? We will be talking about. We gotta get into. We gotta get into the Mexico situation. They tearing shit up out there. And I also want to go through the Wu-Tang because the Wu-Tang clan, the RZA, dude that started the whole Wu-Tang, he got his cousin out here, his own cousin, talking about he did the unspeakable to her on many occasions too. You know what I'm saying? When they was young. She's not holding anything back. I'm going to give it to y'all all. No freaky.
Homophobe. You don't be a homophobe, do you? It's no. We shouldn't do that.
And the dude name is El Mencho. Yeah, he was tearing shit up. They call that boy the devil himself, Lucifer.
It's even the disappearance of words that actually had real meaning.
Him in the building, Rico in the building, my brother.
Things like growing up, majoring in English, reading old English novels, and understanding that a word like is a real word. It means a bundle of sticks.
Okay, so listen, I believe.
Now, can y'all tell me what letter does if you had to predict a bundle of sticks, what letter would that start with? Would that start with an E, F, or G? Get in the chat.
I believe in free speech, right? But I also believe that free speech comes with consequences. So the word you said was right. Is that exactly the word?
Don Lemon is zesty.
So what did you mean by that? You think it's okay to say the word, to call people to their face?
And now for Don Lemon, I guess we probably get.
Do you think it's cool if you call people FA99A, you know what I'm saying, to their face?
To the real crux of the interview.
Benzo hit it on the head. It does start with the letter F.
In holding Owens to account with a wee little castigation along the way.
No, actually, I said words have meaning. And so when you start allowing the perverts to dictate speech, then words just have to go away. And as I said in that clip.
When you allow the perverts.
When I was growing up and I was reading English novels, when people say you're walking through the woods to get it meant a bundle of sticks.
You'll notice that.
Walk me through the woods to give me a
timely wry smile, as though an acknowledgement of a subliminal dig at Lemon as she re-utters that word.
And then they said you can no longer say this word that has a real meaning, right? A bundle of sticks, because some pervert took that and threw it as an epithet towards gay people. I think that's actually a wrong way of thinking. Because then what you're doing is
I do wonder, how did that name, a bundle of sticks, get associated with the gay community? I mean, it's weird, you know,
allowing perverts to dictate society. So I don't like the depth of the English language because people are getting offended. So that's like, I could pick any word. I could say, plant. And from now on, every time I see a gay guy, I'm going to be like, he's a total plant. And then eventually.
That's a fact. Double tap the screen, get the likes up, and share this video today with me. If you're active and you're not a bot today, type ones in the chat because I'm trying to get the algorithm jumping, man. We need to get at least 200 people in here today, okay?
They say you can't say.
And don't let anybody get away from this good entertainment. Share the video, y'all. You got a channel, share it on your channel. I would appreciate it.
plant anymore. It's like, no, this is a real word that has meaning.
Well, that is a cigarette in the UK. They do call cigarettes F words.
Attack the person who's perverting.
Salute to Julie, you know what I'm saying? Salute the motherfucking Henny in the building, Carton stand. Oh, let me wrench Carton up.
The word, but you don't suddenly disappear a word and you say you can no longer say it, or you can no longer read these Virginia Woolf novels because the word has been perverted. I think that's a backwards way of thinking.
Read Virginia Woolf novels, and the only people I know who are trying to ban books, Virginia Woolf. And other books that even say the N-word. I mean, it's conservatives. That's who's trying to do it. I don't think that you should be banning books. But I do.
So you believe that people can't say the F word, but in books you should input the N word. You can't say the F word to describe, you know what I'm saying, describe somebody and those people in a derogatory sense. But you can use the N word to describe black people. See, that's why I don't get the skin politics, the ethnic banging and all that. I never got it, because it's like, okay, I can't call you a F word. I can't say you a zesty F word, but I could put in the books that's going to teach our kids the N word. That makes no sense. You understand what I'm saying? And I blame it on Obama. Obama said it's okay to disrespect and violate black people. You know what I'm saying? And you better not bother the rainbow community.
No, Candace, that words
they lost.
Language evolves.
Am I wrong or am I right?
Over time. And when people say that word to me, they're not calling me a cigarette.
Yes, occasionally. Don
I'm calling you a cigarette. If I say you the F word, Don Lemon, you're a cigarette.
makes a potent and relevant point.
They're not calling me.
Obviously, that's the point. It has a context. So if you want to punish that person because they're saying that offensively, that
you stop doing what you're doing. Don't get called the F word.
If you feel that this person, but it's not fair to then say to everybody else who's not using that word that this word has now been banned. I just think that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's my point.
You think people should?
I don't think you can suddenly say go backwards and delete words that had real meaning because someone has perverted it, because it never stops. It just becomes constantly having to update the language for people's feelings. And I don't think that we should be doing that.
So you would never call me a in my face, right? So you would never
call me a fizz in my face.
Call me a in my face, right?
Probably the one and only time you'll see Lemon at the Don asking a question with some grimace, right?
Well, why would I just randomly call you?
Meaning,
have you ever seen the Louis C.K. skit on? Have you ever seen the Louis C.K. skit on?
That word and that cheeky smile again. A descending
Louis C.K. Oh no, you don't want to see him. He's slinging that word all over the place.
battle of mind games between these two, with Lemon also about to double down.
No, I like Louis C.K., but I don't think I've ever seen a skit on.
You should watch it.
Yeah. No, but you would never call like a gay person that to their face.
That seems like an absurd, like, what? No, I'm not just going around. I'm a 35-year-old mother. I don't go around being like, hey, you're a It's just like, I'm not 18 years old. Like, I'm not going around calling people names, period. I wouldn't go up to a fat person and call them names.
Trying to get her to commit to that, to say that she wouldn't say that.
Wouldn't call it. Just like it's an absurd thing to be going around pointing and calling people names because I don't like them. I would no. So the answer is no. I would not.
Do you use the N-word?
No, I don't.
No.
Okay, there we go. N-word, F-word.
Okay.
Hold on to your hats, folks. It's an interesting tactic that Lemon adopts, as he's now about to fully pull the linchpin on this discussion.
Watch this shit.
That calm exterior, soft questioning demeanor.
This shit is classic. I'm about to get into the main content right now because you know what? We was all on Erica Kirk's side, right? That's Charlie Kirk's wife. Candace Owens is blowing this bitch up out the
That
way.
Lemon is famed for,
Trust me, this is just a snack meal. You won't see this girl go off.
masking a far more efficient and ruthlessly agendized modus operandi.
Here's something interesting that we may have some common ground on. Okay. But what do you think about same-sex marriage?
It's a sin.
You think it's a sin? So you think I'm
sin. What's that?
You think I'm sinful because I'm married to a man?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, you is.
Yes.
Hell yeah. If you looking back at it. Yeah, you sinning, bruh. You sinning.
We may have some common ground on. Okay. But what do you think about same-sex marriage?
It's a sin.
You think it's a sin? So you think
It
I'm
is a
sinful?
sin. What's that?
You think I'm sinful because I'm married to a man?
Yeah.
You do?
Yes, you're sinning. You are in a sinful relationship. I actually don't believe marriage can be between two men. So I don't
But you understand, though, Candace, and maybe we're not going to agree on this now. I thought we would.
Come on, Don, joking aside.
Do you understand, though, that the Bible verses and the same scriptures that are used to call same-sex marriage sinful are used to call interracial marriage sinful as well? And so there are people who...
When have you heard somebody that's slinging Bibles say that a black person marrying a white person is sinful? Y'all let me know.
Who would say that you are in a sinful marriage.
So now they're about to have a ding-dong, castigating each other's doctrines and lifestyles. Interracial versus homosexual. Some will be thinking the irony. For others, their thoughts will be, there's far more important things going on in the world today to
I couldn't say it better.
Relatively worry about.
That's why she gonna gun him.
Can you tell me which verse it is that would make people say?
Man, I swear to God, I didn't look at this whole reaction. I can't make this shit up. Natural next question.
The thing is that it's actually not there, and that people twist the Bible verses. That's my whole point. Thank you for proving that, because it doesn't say that. And it's actually, you're going to say Leviticus or whatever. It's not actually what Leviticus says. But go on. I don't want to get into
I don't understand why gay people, why gay dudes go to church and try to change the fucking rules. I just don't get it. I'm not homophobic, but this shit is weird.
Specifics about the Bible, but that's not what the Bible says. It's just people using and interpreting scripture in a way that they want to interpret it. So look, you can believe whatever you want to believe. I don't believe that I'm in a sinful marriage.
Okay, you don't believe that, but did Jesus say that was cool for you?
But there are people who believe. Candace Owens.
I'm just saying, because we quoting Bibles and shit. I don't know too much about the Bible. You know what I mean? But I do know about that Trump train. If you want to, you know what? I'm not even going to do that to y'all.
That you are in a sinful marriage because
there's a lot of people that hate Trump right now. Matter of fact, let me start a poll question.
You are in an interracial marriage. And I say that as someone who is in an interracial marriage. So I am doubly sinful.
Oh man. So you married a white gay dude. Okay. Got you.
Yeah, I've never heard anybody make a biblical argument
in America
against people being married that are black and white. So that's why I said, can you just tell me what verse that was? Sodomy is obviously a sin, but I've never heard a
I'm glad she didn't say look back at it.
Biblical argument. I'm happy to learn. I honestly, I'm happy to learn.
Sodomy is not just for gay sex, right? You know that. Right? Sodomy is.
Yeah, it's a sin always, but
yeah, it's a sin between. It can be a sin between heterosexuals as well.
Yes, that's correct.
Yo, they try to move the goalposts so much, man. It's crazy, yo.
You've never heard that interracial marriage was sinful?
I've never heard somebody make a biblical argument for interracial. I've never, and that's why I'm saying if you could present that to me, and if maybe you're familiar with what verse that was.
Yeah, but actually, it's not a biblical argument. It's also a religious argument as well, more so than anything, that you're in a sinful marriage and that black and white people should not be married.
I mean, I'm obviously very aware that
this is what you call moving the goalposts. We're talking about gender and gender, not race and race, sir.
People could think that ideologically, but I've never heard that biblical argument made ever in my life. And I'm happy to be proven wrong here, but I think
an example of what you get when you have two people who may already have encountered prejudices pertaining to their sexuality or choice of partner now turning on one another.
Yeah, because, that's crazy, because Candace is married to...
You made that up on the spot there?
So by saying that, no, I didn't actually, but by saying that you believe that I'm in a sinful marriage, does that mean, though, that I should be discriminated against?
No, I've never called for discrimination.
So you believe in the separate of church and state, then?
Heterosexual couples can sin as well. I mean, I hope that you deal with that. I want you to be Christian and to understand why it is that sodomy is a sin and what else it yields in society. I believe that marriage is between a man and a woman.
She's saying, from her perspective, you've been a naughty boy, Don.
Yeah. But that doesn't mean that you believe that I should be discriminated against. I should be able to have, under the Constitution, you believe that I have the same rights as you and other heterosexuals, and that my marriage is just as valid under the Constitution as anybody else's, including this.
Well, I believe
cynical one in the building. Salute, baby girl.
That the problem became that gets into a deeper theological discussion, but like The government should have never.
It doesn't got to be personal all the time when you question somebody. You know, like nobody's saying what you're doing is wrong, my nigga. You know what I mean? But according to the Bible,
Never taken marriage away from the church. It should have been something that was maintained as a church practice. And so a lot of things happened there when the government took over and began marrying people, because then the arguments became, well, you get a tax break from your question. I would never want any person based on their sins to ever be discriminated against, ever. I mean, I don't believe in discrimination. I don't believe that people should be treated differently.
Smart answer, but I bet inside our house, that's not the answer.
I think people should get help, you know, and like we were just talking about with trans indoctrination, I believe that's a mental illness and people should seek help, but I don't believe that they should be discriminated against. I would never be okay with that. Okay. I mean, I have people that are, you know,
they need mental health. They don't need to be discriminated about.
Gay and lesbians in my life. I have cousins who are lesbians, so it's not, I don't have hate.
My best friend is black. You hear me? All right, let's get to the next piece of content here. You know what I'm saying? Now, this one says when debating Candace Owens goes wrong, right? Now, Piers Morgan, I don't know what side he's on anymore, but seems like he's a little oppy, you know, but we're gonna dig through it. Okay. Now, I do want to get into how she handles Erica Kirk. You know what I'm saying? In a second.
Charlie Kirk and Turning Point, Faith and Erica Kirk. Why?
Okay. They say she's flipping on everybody.
We don't like.
Let's assume for a moment you're right, and that all these Egyptian planes were flying around tracking Charlie Kirk and Turning Point, Faith and Erica Kirk. Why? What is your theory?
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, what's your theory then? You must have an idea.
My theory is that we should investigate everything strange that happened on that day so we can figure out what happened.
But are you suggesting that? Are you suggesting
why is everybody
Egypt?
so? Why?
And you know what? I'm surprised that Erica Kirk, the way this girl Candace Owens, and I'm gonna show y'all an old clip of Candace and Charlie, right? But the way she was fighting for your dead husband, you would think that she would be on, you know, Candace's side. She was all the way against.
Why are we pretending that we don't know why we?
And she was saying that she has nothing to do. She basically distanced herself from Candace until Candace called out.
Ask questions like why? Like you're a journalist,
but
you know what this is. You're like, what's going on? What's going on?
Theory?
Why do you want to know why these planes were tracking Charlie? Well, my theory is that we are being sold absolute Fed slop. The media is doing their Operation Mockingbird Part 2 scenario by telling us, well, unless you absolutely have a conclusion, you can't even ask the question. Yes, we very well
can.
Keep asking consistent questions until we get a clarified explanation for what happened on that day. And right now, we have nothing, okay? And that is the reason why people are watching my show, because I'm the only one not treating them like they're absolute idiots who don't have two eyes, who believe in magic bully theory, and who
Let's not get it twisted. The hate starts because look at what it says under her name. Candace Owens, you are not God's chosen people. And you know who she's talking about.
Understand that Egyptian planes should not have been tracking Charlie.
The J words.
Even 3 times this year would be an anomaly, okay? They've been tracking him. We don't know where it's going to end, but we are going to keep asking questions until we get clear answers.
Candace, it may be that the person in the media spewing Islam to the public is you.
No.
My son is bugging.
Nice try. It's not. It's you by saying, why are you asking questions? Don't you worry about
Yes, man, you getting me mad, bro.
About Mikey's feelings. Everyone knows what this is. And like I said, because we have the example, the concrete example of after JFK's assassination, the media members quite literally being put on the payroll of the CIA. We have a historical example that we can look at and go, we're not doing that again. Doesn't matter how many times you keep telling the public that I'm spewing Islam. It is only because there has not been anything that has come out of this investigation that makes any sense that the public is not listening to. I am sorry to say this, Piers, people like you. And what I love about you and I sitting down is that this
Do y'all see the thing that I just posted at the top? Go ahead and, if you know how to read, go ahead and read that, right? Because later on we will be educating the public. You understand me?
Exact same time last year, you were doing the same weird questioning and making all these things when I said that they were committing a Holocaust against the Gazans, and then you changed your mind.
Actually, this time,
I'll see you next year when you change your mind again, and we have more information about what happened. And
she be calling these niggas out. She be calling these N-words out.
Realize that the difference between me and you is that I have the courage to take the risks and ask the questions first, okay, before it's popular. You wait until it becomes popular and then you change your mind.
You may remember that one of your courageous moves was to repeatedly tell.
Oh, you see how he ducked that? She don't be playing.
The risks and ask the questions first,
Yeah.
okay, before it's popular. You wait until it becomes popular and then you change your mind.
You may remember that one of your courageous moves was to repeatedly tell the world that Brigitte Macron is a man. As you now know,
And she is.
As you now know, we had a $300,000 bet to charity about this because she's a woman.
Yes.
It's my view.
She's not a woman.
Well, we're going to find out, is the point, because it's going to court. They're suing you. And when she proves, as she will, that she's a woman, because it's very easy to
See how that went, you piece of shit, Piers Morgan.
prove, and you lose that case, then
So easy that she refuses to do it for years.
But then it will become more obvious to people that, look, I think you're a brilliant operator at what you do. That's, I like you personally. You know that, right? None of this is personal for me about you at all. I just have watched
The fuck you keep personally attacking him for? He's talking about it's not personal.
him last year from Brigitte Macron.
If you sitting in front of somebody and they telling you this shit that's coming out of his mouth and say that it's not personal, knock it off.
Now into the Charlie Kirk story. I think you've developed a modus operandi, which, to put it politely, is you flying what we would call in the world of journalism kites, and just seeing what can cause the most merry hell, therefore get you the biggest audience, therefore make you the most amount of money. And people have, as you know, you've been widely attacked now by a lot of people who say that you're just a ghoul, a vulture. You're doing this deliberately. You're inventing things, or just.
Well, Piers Morgan, are you fucking, reporting how you're reporting for the love of the game, bruh? This ain't the movie Paid in Full. You're getting paid, for your opinion.
Flying ludicrous conspiracy theories to make money. Now, again, Candace, I don't know that you are, but I do know
celebrity.
Can you not interrupt me? Oh, your rule.
I do
Fucking sellout.
think it's pretty
Type ones if y'all think that Piers Morgan is a fucking sellout.
rich. It's pretty rich coming from you is all I'm going to say. That's me putting it very nicely, given your background, your career, your celebrity involvement, Princess Diana. Wrong messenger is what I'll say right off the top, okay? Wrong messenger. What you are mistaking, or I guess what I'm not even mistaking, because you know what this is.
Get that nigga, Candace!
You're talking about power versus the people. And you are always on the side of power first. You're on the side of the Israelis. It's so horrible. And, I'm going to pretend.
Right. It doesn't take much to change your fucking mind. You know what I'm saying? I hate wiggly people like this. It's just fucking flimsy. Soon as another popular opinion jumps up, next thing you know, you're throwing your whole butthole in it.
I don't see tens of thousands of Gazans dying.
I've actually been very critical of the Israelis, as you know, in the last year.
Everybody
I've actually been
knows
very
Brigitte
critical of the
Macron
Israeli
has a
government.
penis, okay? It's very easy to present photos of 30 years of your life. Brigitte keeps teasing, Brigitte, nobody asked
find
you for
out,
a blood
aren't we?
test. We asked you for some photos and you refused to do it.
find out,
And
Candace.
everybody knows
Candace,
that
we're
Charlie
gonna find
Kirk
out.
was not.
He just called him out. I don't know if this is flying over your head, but she's calling him out and he's deflecting.
On the side of the Israelis. It's so mistaking, or I guess what I'm not even mistaking, because you know what this is. You're talking about power versus the people. And you are always on the side of power first. You're on the side of the Israelis. It's so horrible. And, I'm going to pretend I don't see tens of thousands of Gazans dying.
I've actually been very critical of the Israelis, as you know, in the last year.
Everybody
Simple. You're not on the side of the people. You're on the side of the power. You clown.
I've been very
Brigitte
critical of the
Macron
Israeli
has a
government.
penis, okay? It's
It's like Piers Morgan. Be a clown now.
very easy to present photos of 30 years of your life. Brigitte keeps teasing, Brigitte, nobody
gonna
asked
find
you for a
out,
blood
aren't we?
test. We asked you for some photos and you refused
gonna
to do
find
it.
out,
And
Candace.
everybody knows
Candace,
that
we're
Charlie
gonna find
Kirk
out.
was not shot by Tyler Robinson on a rooftop. I am sorry that in this day and age, there seems to be such a shortage of testosterone that a woman has to be the person that states the obvious, right? I invite you to join me, and I know that you will by the end of next year, because they're not going to get away with what they did to my friend Charlie Kirk. And I am not going to.
She did not play. Hey, I need y'all to share the video right now. Everybody, share the Instagram. Share it with somebody on the messenger. You know what I'm saying? So they can send some people up in here to get this message. All right, salute to everybody up in here. My boy Lansky's in the building.
Change my mind, least of all when I am being called names by someone who has quite a year background and experience in doing things because it's lucrative and not always because it's sensitive.
Sure,
But
listen,
it's always lovely.
you can call me a hypocrite as much as you want. I don't care. It's fine. I'm just simply saying what other people have been saying about you. I didn't say I felt that.
Thank you.
I said
I'll let you know what people are saying about you too. I'll keep you
I read
posted on
it
what people
all
are saying
like
about
you.
you.
I read it all the time. But I would say that, like I said at the start of this
read it
interview,
all the time, but you would think this motherfucker's oblivious to what they say about you, brother. He's more focused about what they say about Candace. He's questioning her, saying that basically she's just, lining her pockets. So fucking what? Everybody's lying in their pockets, but she's lying in her pockets and she's speaking for the people. You're lying in your pockets and you speaking up for yourself, brother. It's a difference.
I don't know whether any of the things you're saying are true or not. I just do know you're saying a huge amount of stuff. It's making you very wealthy. You're getting millions and millions of people coming in.
They've been hating.
Which by the way,
what is this idea that it's making me very wealthy? Can you actually explain that slowly?
Yes, I'm going to explain it to you.
She's blogging on YouTube, getting a fucking bag.
Slowly, because I had a huge run-in, for example.
It's just like a talking point.
No, I'm going to explain exactly what I mean. When Sandy Hook happened, and Alex Jones began weaponizing the Sandy Hook tragedy.
Let's double tap the screen to get the likes up. You know what I'm saying? That helps the algorithm. If you ain't hit the like button, double tap the screen or go to the top right and hit the 3 dots.
And weaponizing the grief of the poor parents who'd lost their children. And I began to attack him in public.
Hold on. I didn't hear the first sentence. My bad.
When Sandy Hook happened, and Alex Jones began weaponizing the Sandy Hook tragedy and weaponizing the grief of the poor parents who'd lost their children. And I began to attack him in public. And then eventually there was a court case, and it turned out he'd been spewing deliberate lies, and that every time he spewed them, they found he made hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars in the immediate aftermath of spewing the...
What the fuck does that got to do with her?
Repeated lies that it was all staged and the families were actors and so on, which he knew to be lies. And he made himself extremely rich and ended up with $1 billion defamation finding against him because he'd been deliberately weaponizing people's grief. And the charge...
Yeah, I'm asking you to explain the actual financial metrics. How was he making money?
I'm explaining to you the analogy, which is there are...
He's asked specifically, how is he making money from this and how is it wrong?
As you know, right now, a lot of people, from Tim Pool to the New York Post...
And furthermore, what the fuck does that got to do with me?
Others who've come out very stridently in the last week, and say that's exactly what you've been doing with Erica Kirk.
Yeah, but you haven't answered the question. So this is just made up. It's, as I said, this is just all fluff. You're suggesting that I'm making money. Did I sign a new advertiser? Are we reading more? Are we reading more ads? Do we put this somewhere else? Do we sign a book deal?
The more views you get on YouTube, the more money you make.
Did I sell a T-shirt? Okay, but like, come on now, Piers.
Candace Owens is a paid opposition. She's been bought. This is why she couldn't get past Piers Morgan on this debate. She clearly got past them and explained how she's making money, just like she acts exactly how dude made money.
Me on YouTube? Are you kidding me? I was already in a top 10 podcast globally before Charlie Kirk was assassinated. And if you think that I would want my friend to be assassinated so I could go from being in the top 5 to being number 1, you're out of your mind.
No,
okay,
I'm telling you,
it's so disrespectful.
I'm telling you.
But like the point is that everyone who is saying that I'm making more money cannot say how I'm making more money because it's just not true. Okay, so you're like, oh, she got a bump in viewership talking about Charlie.
Your YouTube numbers
everyone in the world because it was a public assassination.
And then it went up
in the weeks following,
Candace,
and it went back to normal.
Stop cutting her off, you bitch motherfucker. I hate this dude, bro. You know what I mean?
Okay, so you're like, oh, she got a bump in viewership talking about Charlie.
Your YouTube numbers
everyone in the world because it was a public assassination. And then it went up in the weeks following, and it went back to normal.
Candace, are your YouTube numbers up since you've been doing the Charlie Kirk investigations?
What I am saying to you is that
everybody view. Oh my God!
This is the exact same argument you guys had about Brigitte. So it can't. And then the same exact.
But I think you were lying about Brigitte.
About the Blake Lively thing. Okay, but what about the Blake Lively thing? So you can't keep saying that. Oh, she's always in the top 10 because she's talking about something. Or this is my podcast and it's me. It's just me. People enjoy my podcast because I don't treat them like they're idiots. I don't treat them like they should accept that Brigitte Crone just can't present one photo of herself raising her kids across 30 years. It's just too much to ask. Oh my gosh, it's ridiculous. How dare you? It's such an intrusion of privacy. She'd rather file a transatlantic lawsuit than to just produce photos and put all of this to bed. That's the difference between you and I. So now there's this repeat lie from Kamala Chronicles, which we did looking into Kamala's background because it was relevant to the election cycle. Then we did the Blake Lively lawsuit, and they said, oh, she's trying to change her brand. That's the only reason her numbers are up. Then we went to Brigitte, which I lost, by the way. I had to get a whole career change when I first covered that story. So joke's on me if I'm doing this to make money, but I was willing to be fired to tell the truth. And then it's all about Brigitte. And now we've arrived at Charlie Kirk. I feel like there's something about that actually is just people not being willing to admit that what people appreciate about me and why they keep coming back is that I'm willing to take.
She's not crashing Carnage. She's not really crashing out. You know, she's being overtalked. She's being asked questions that she can't actually answer. It's the same shit. It's like arguing with a fucking, a chicken head. You know what I mean? They ask you a question, but won't never let you answer it.
Risks to tell the truth.
No, I think don't get me wrong.
I was already sold out on ads at the end of the year because our podcast was successful. Yeah, I have not sold a t-shirt.
I'm gonna go bleep every time he cuts off.
Nothing with his name on it. It's just
bleep.
Me.
My next
bleep. Let's get the likes up. Double tap the screen. Let's get the likes to 100 real quick, y'all. It's 30 likes on the board. We've been live for a half hour. Let's get the likes up, man. You know what I'm saying? For real. All right?
Vivid opinions on these big issues and have had a very public feud. We're bringing them together for what we intend, I hope, to be a proper debate. The topics will be the Israel-Hamas war, anti-Semitism in public life, American involvement in Israel.
Watch how she owns this J word, though, real quick. Watch this.
And Israeli involvement in the United States. And we'll even...
video that made me want to do this live right now. This is the actual video, this part right here.
Talk about Michael Jackson, who is relevant to this debate. Both guests will get roughly equal speaking time and a chance to question each other. Speaking of the other guest is not encouraged. Ad hominem attacks are strongly discouraged. I want to give you both the chance to make an opening statement. So Rabbi Shmuley, you won the toss. We didn't really actually toss, but we both agreed you can do this. You go first. Your opening remarks.
Thank you, Pierce, for having me. And Candace, thank you.
Homeboy right here was not ready.
For debating me. I have spent my life bringing together the Black and Jewish communities, emphasizing that we share not only a history.
That's why Michael Jackson said he's terrified of you.
Of shared persecution, but of spiritual promise. Today we debate an American tragedy, a woman of unique eloquence who has abused that eloquence to become simultaneously the foremost anti-Black rhetorician.
Now, just let me know if Candace Owens cuts him off at all while he's disrespecting her, because he's really basically saying that here's a very smart broad that acts dumb. Basically, this is all he's saying.
An American tragedy, a woman of unique eloquence who has abused that eloquence to become simultaneously the foremost anti-Black rhetorician in all of the United States. And
you're supposed to know when, as soon as they type in and then you're supposed to just clap that shit,
Foremost anti-Semite in America.
Ad hominem attacks.
It's the oldest trick in the book. Dude probably not even racist, probably Black that did that.
Are strongly discouraged.
The statement
he gave for some attention. He's probably in his house butt naked, you know what I'm saying? Throwing Diddy oil all over his body. You know what I'm saying? God bless your soul. But you'll never be able to type over here again.
That Candace has made against her own community, that they cry wolf and constantly say that they're victims of.
My bad. I'm sorry. I got sidetracked, right? Look, let's show. This is what I'm talking about, decorum, when it comes down to debating, arguing, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? These people cannot not cut you off, We'll sit around and just listen to everything you guys say, and then when it's time to respond, it's going to be some bullshit. I'm going to just let it play through.
Woman of unique eloquence who has abused that eloquence.
Okay, here we go.
Shared persecution, but of spiritual promise. Today we debate an American tragedy, a woman of unique eloquence who has abused that eloquence to become simultaneously the foremost anti-Black rhetorician in all of the United States and the foremost anti-Semite in America.
Ad hominem attacks are strongly discouraged.
The statements that Candace has made against her own community, that they cry wolf and constantly say that they're victims of racism. Her attacks on George Floyd, a man who was suffocated to death for a $20 counterfeit note saying that he was a horrible human being. A woman who went up in front of CPAC and said, I was never a slave in America, as if that's the only form of discrimination, is what has led her community to call her not Candace, but Clandis. To call her not Candace, but Clandis.
To call her not Candace, but Clandis.
The first ever female Black woman who appears in her rhetoric against blacks, calling LeBron James dumb and stupid, an icon to the black community, as Candace. Simultaneously, you have the Jewish community beginning to call her not Candace Owens, but Candace Ovens, because her Goebbels-style rhetoric against Jews, that Jews are...
Read the title, goofy.
...are nearly all pedophiles. The State of Israel will set up a Theodor Herzl, a pedophile, as a haven for pedophiles. That Judaism is a demonic, satanic cult that only protects pedophiles. And by the way,
the first part is definitely, let's tell you about black stuff.
Absolute obsession with Jewish sexuality and Jewish genitalia. The first lady of France, Brigitte Macron's genitalia, is disturbing. It's one of the reasons I think she hates Sigmund Freud so much, because she's a Freudian field dream in terms of his arguments that the greater the sexual suppression and repression, the greater we see violence.
Rabbi Shmuley, I'm interrupting.
Oh, America is on some Freud shit.
Wait, just one final point.
So Candace will get exactly the same amount of time. It's up to you, but it's an opening statement, right? And what I would say...
May I just say finally, if I may?
Well, if it's quick, yeah.
The biggest issue I have with Candace, to be honest, is that she claims to be a Christian. Candace, didn't Jesus say you're supposed to love your enemies? Is the love you show me that you call me filth twice on the last show that you did with Pierce a piece of filth? You're supposed to love your enemies. Is that turning the other cheek? And Pierce, you're an English gentleman. I've known you for many years. You will
disrespected her in your opening statement. Your first fucking sentence was a disrespect towards her.
Allowed her to say that without even a piece of filth. When Jesus said that you're supposed to turn the other cheek, where have you ever turned the other cheek? When Jesus said that the meek shall inherit the earth, the arrogance, the nonstop attack against Jews, the demonization. If you are a Christian, then I am the second coming of Christ.
Okay.
The disrespect. Double tap screen. Come on, let's get the likes up. You know what I'm saying? Salute to Henny in the building.
Here's what I would like to say to you, Rabbi, since you're quoting scripture, okay? The one that's relevant to me is, woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for dark. Rabbi, since you're quoting scripture, okay? The one that's relevant to me is, woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness. And if you'd like to dive into a little more scripture, I think what's relevant is Revelation.
I'll just shut up after that. That's deep.
3:9. Behold, I will make them
I'm Muslim. You know what I'm saying?
Of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. And I'm speaking directly to you, Rabbi Shmuley. Revelation 3:9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie.
Revelation 3:9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie.
And I'm speaking directly to you, Rabbi Shmuley. And I'm speaking directly to you, Rabbi Shmuley.
And I'm speaking directly to you, Rabbi Shmuley.
The fact that you would try to say, I am Jewish and this is what I believe, and do and say the things that you are doing. People can see and hear evil, and what you are doing right now is an act of evil. The lies that you are telling, not just on me, but also on my family members, are a good example for the world to see what we are referring to when we call something radical Zionism.
That's 4 minutes you've spoken to. Out of fairness, Candace, if you want to use 4 minutes to respond, you can. All I would note, Rabbi Shmuley, is you've spent 4 minutes personally attacking Candace Owens. I set this up as a debate about what is happening with the Israel-Hamas war, anti-Semitism, and so on and so on. You've turned it all completely, immediately, into an ad hominem onslaught against Candace.
How could you possibly say that? You are speaking to a woman who says the Jews are a ring of demonic pedophiles, and you're saying that I have no right to defend my people. You know, Pierce, you have to stop this once and for all. There was nothing ad hominem at all.
All right.
When Candace says that the black community
you've had your say.
is a bunch of crybabies,
okay.
Everything I said was policy. I could not disagree more.
Candace will now get the same amount of time, if you wanted, Candace, to respond.
Thank you, Pierce. And I don't think I really do need to respond to the ad hominem attacks. I think actually one of the things that plausibly unites people across all religions, Muslims, Jews, Christians, is that we all recognize that Rabbi Shmuley is unhinged. He's just mentally, in my view, unwell. And I don't say that as an attack. I say that as just a reality, because I've never seen someone just make things up out of thin air that were never said. And trying to screen that as a defense of Black people. The Black people will never accept Rabbi Shmuley after Michael Jackson put him on a list of people who he felt were ruining his life. So you can stop your pleas with Black America. They won't work. Now, going back to the context of what you've asked us to speak about today.
Oh, you see, he didn't cut her off then. She accused him of that Michael Jackson shit. That ain't no lie.
You know, I think one of the things that the world is recognizing, and what we've always recognized, is that there are radical fringe sects that break out within every single religion, amongst every race. There's white supremacy, there's Black supremacy, there's radical Islam, there are all of these Christ cults around the world. And I think right now it's important for people to understand that radical Judaism is also a thing. And you're watching an example of it right now on your screen. The person sitting across from me, or sitting next to me, I guess, it posted on
don't get it twisted. This is J Words attacking her.
His Facebook page in 2016, a tribute to someone who he said was his mentor. That was Rabbi Menachem Schneerson. He said he was his mentor and his friend. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with Rabbi Schneerson, there were some Jews who believed that he was and is the Messiah. So rejecting Christ, but believing that that rabbi was his Messiah.
Well, is she a controlled op, like you said, Stacey, whatever? Look, is she a controlled op, or is she paid? She's paying, lining her own pockets up, like this guy's saying.
You may remember in the news recently, there was this
like Pierce was saying,
radicalized faction of the Lubavitch Orthodox community in Brooklyn that were digging tunnels in Brooklyn and hurling benches at police.
Now watch this shit. Just in case y'all people that don't live in New York didn't see this, wait till you see this video.
Police officers.
The discovery of a secret tunnel eventually led to a massive brawl inside a 100-year-old synagogue in Brooklyn, New York. Known as 770, the synagogue serves one of the largest groups of Hasidic Jews in the world. Now, luckily, no injuries.
These J Words had tunnels in their
were reported from this brawl, believe it or not. But what the hell sparked it? What is behind the brawl in the first place? What got people so fired up? Well, it was all over the discovery of a tunnel and an attempt by authorities to fill it with cement. So you see a gentleman coming out of that tunnel.
Look at that hat. Though they I don't know why they look like Fraggles to me. Coming out that hole.
This isn't in the Middle East, guys. This is in Brooklyn. Okay, this is in Brooklyn.
We are now joined by David Saltzman, who is a member of the now infamous synagogues in Brooklyn. We've all heard the news story.
Being that you're so smart, why are the Jews in Brooklyn saying that they don't want to have shit to do with Israel? You know, not me. It's dumb.
About these tunnels that were discovered underneath this synagogue. And there's a lot of theories going around the internet about why these tunnels exist, a lot of conspiracy theories, wild accusations going on. So we brought David here as a member of the synagogue to set the record straight of any rumors going around why these tunnels exist.
Police make a wild discovery underneath a synagogue in Brooklyn.
An illegal tunnel found below the Chabad Lubavitch World Headquarters in Crown Heights.
All right, Fox 5's Lisa Evers.
Not anti-Semitic.
Takes a look at how it was discovered.
And why you religious people are so mean all the time. I didn't say nothing bad to you. You know what I mean? So you come up in this chat, call people idiots. Come on, Jimmy. You know, show me the United States map where Israel is. I can't find it. Is it in New Jersey? You dumbass. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, let me show you something. Let me show you power, right? All right, let me just do this to you. Now I'm going to play with you. No freaky. You know what I'm saying? You want to stop my show? I'm going to show you how to stop your brain. 9 men are facing charges this afternoon after police say they dug a secret tunnel into the sanctuary of anti-Semitic. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving commentary on what she's saying. Is she anti-Semitic for pointing out things? Is he anti-black for listening, talking about what black people think and shit? No, right? Okay. Chabad Lubavitch headquarters in Brooklyn.
The men described by police as extremist students are accused of...
Hey, Mark, it is power. Do you see him typing anymore? Hey, Jimmy, say something, Jimmy. Let everybody see you talk. Okay? That's power.
Digging the tunnel so that they would be able to have access to the sanctuary after hours. And when a cement truck was brought...
Height, good one. You know what I'm saying? Thank you. Now, You don't want me to start talking about Israel and the location and what Donald Trump has planned for the Gaza Strip while you're out there bombing shit. You know what I'm saying? He's going to try to turn the Gaza Strip into a fucking casino. Stay woke.
Brought in to fill that tunnel. The men stood in the tunnel, refusing to leave.
And I want to be clear, there's been conflicting reporting on this story. When I was reading about it recently, there were claims that the tunnel was built specifically to skirt COVID orders that closed down religious buildings.
Anyway, let's get back to it.
For a source, I didn't.
Hold up, my bad.
Jewish professors who translated his work. Those authors' names were Israel Shahak and Norton Mazvinsky.
Candace just said that Israel dropped more bombs on Gaza than on Dresden. What's your source for that? Do you know that in Dresden, there were 1,000 Lancaster bombers sent over 2 nights by Churchill, and then 800 American, that's 1,800 bombs. What's your source that Israel dropped more than on Dresden?
So it's just interesting because you realize that you use Dresden as an example.
No. Answer the question. You just made Pierce. This is deflection.
I said more tons
you
of
said that Israel. You just made a blood libel against the Jewish state. Dresden was 1,000 Lancaster bombers over 2 nights. I am asking you, what is your source?
This is getting very boring.
The answer. Okay, don't interrupt me, please. The answer is
Pierce.
2,000 tons, just to be exact. I just looked it up. 2,000 tons of fucking explosives on the Gaza Strip. The Gaza Strip is like the size of fucking Manhattan, y'all. 2,000 tons worth of explosives.
Pierce, it's my turn.
Pierce, they whole shit.
You can't ask someone a question and then refuse to let them answer.
So I asked for a source. I didn't ask for a question. Go ahead.
We've heard the question.
Absurd. I'm going to respond to what you are saying. This tactic of when anybody brings up anything that Israel is doing is wrong, you get to just scream blood libel and anti-Semitism.
Don't interrupt.
Oh my gosh, it's a blood libel. It is not a blood libel to talk about the amount of death and the tons of explosives that have been dropped on the civilians in Palestine, okay? That is not a blood libel against Jewish people. This is such a nasty and perverted tactic.
What is your source?
Hey, yo, MW Fluffy, man, let's not get started on fucking Venezuela. I might go there today.
Essentially says, I don't have to debate anymore because I get to just call everybody a person who's accusing me of blood libels. Okay, truly, what is happening right now is that the blood of Palestine.
Okay, now Jimmy's talking. Let's see what he's saying. We have a language, Hebrew. We have DNA, Hebrew. We have a culture, Hebrew. Religion is an option. Well, I'm more likely to choose spirituality, but thank you for not saying, attacking the host. Say whatever you want. Don't attack me.
Palestinians is being shed. Okay, that is not a libel against the Jews. That is a fact and a reality against Bibi Netanyahu and this government, which has gone extreme in their response to October 7th. So stop this tactic.
Understood. Pierce, can I now have my turn again? All I asked was the source. Clearly, she has none. It was invented out of whole cloth. That's what a blood libel is. A blood libel is when Candace Owens says that the actual medieval blood libel, that Jews killed Christians and drank their blood.
I will pull up the source for you.
She believes that. Please don't interrupt me.
I will find you the source.
Says that there were Christian bodies found all over Europe. When she said that I am not trying to kill her, we will post right after this, where she said it at least on 8 occasions. That's why she's being investigated by the FBI. Because you can lie about me, you can call me filth, and Pierce won't, and you can
Michael
call me
Jackson didn't lie when he said he's terrified of your ass.
Psychotic. I've never said that about you. But what you can't do is incite violence against my family.
Double tap the screen. Rest in peace to the king of fucking pop.
Repeatedly said I'm trying to kill you. You said the Jews killed JFK. You said if the Jews killed JFK,
you said all this earlier.
We couldn't protect the president. Okay, wait one second.
Can we get back to the debate
for a moment? No, wait. Let's just go back for a moment. No, Pierce, I have to respond to things.
Would you like a source?
Candace says that it is demonic.
You wanted the source from Candace.
I never got.
You
I
wanted
never got between.
Rabbi Shmuley, you wanted the source from Candace. I think she has one. Well, why don't you let her answer? I think she has one.
Let me fact check this source as well. So 70,000
Yes, I want to see where Israel dropped more bombs on Gaza than Dresden.
70,000 tons of explosive have been dropped on the Gaza Strip.
Damn, I said 2,000 tons. Let me see the date on what I was looking at. This is 2023. Excuse me. I'm looking at something from November 17, 2023. So all it was 2,000 tons. And they didn't double up. Because if they would have doubled up, let's say if they doubled up both years, 2,000 would have went to 4,024. 4,000 would have went to 8,000 and 8,025. And we're talking about 70 fucking thousand tons of explosives. Nasty work.
Let's see how many tons of explosives were dropped on Dresden. 1 second.
You mean she said it and now she's fact-checking it?
Motherfucker, she's fact-checking what you just said.
You're kidding me, right?
Well, you're asking me to give you the direct source live, and I'm going to look it up for you. So give me 1 second.
How don't you shut up and let her give you the source?
Computer on me. I don't have a computer on me. This is ridiculous.
Let her need a computer. All you need is Google like I just did.
Finish.
This is a cheat sheet. This is absurd.
Let her answer the question.
Go ahead.
Candace.
Thank you, Piers.
So 2,700 tons of bombs were dropped on Dresden in an 800 bomber air raid. And that is according to Britannica, the encyclopedia.
2,000 tons versus 70,000 tons. Do the math.
Yeah,
what was the tonnage of bombs dropped in Gaza?
In Gaza, it was 70,000 tons of explosives were dropped in the Gaza Strip. And I got that from CNN.
Through the duration of the war today, is that the time scale?
Yes.
Okay. So Rabbi Shmuley,
which
that would
they're
seem
saying
to be
has surpassed
So let's be clear.
Dresden,
so over
Hamburg, and
11
London
months, she's comparing an 11-month war to a single night in Dresden. That's clearly absurd. I'm glad that she has her cheat sheet, her computer in front of her. But notice, she made this
you called it a blood libel.
Not knowing what.
It's not no cheat sheet. You challenged us. She showed you the facts. That's it.
What she was talking
what
about.
she
Just
said.
a moment, please.
Hang on. What she said, to be clear, was that the Israeli.
It's also in the New York Times.
The Israeli Defense Force had dropped more bombs on Gaza than were dropped on Dresden. That is true. Do you accept that, Rabbi Shmuley?
You know, Pierce. I find this an astonishing debate.
You ask.
Very simple question. Double tap the screen. Donald Trump loves you.
Wait. First of all, I don't. Wait. What do you mean it's true? Because she said it's true?
No, do you accept that's true?
Checkers?
The New York Times says it's true.
Is this a serious show? Wait. Every time I try to speak,
you asked for a source. You called it a blood libel. Fortunately, we had time to look it up.
Excuse me, you are interrupting me. She made a definitive
statement. Yeah, the music comes in.
She admitted she had no source. She had to then use her computer. It's absurd that she has a computer during this debate.
But she was
Maryland. Donald Trump is not God. He's cool, but he's definitely not God. Okay.
Because she had to look it up. 1 second.
But she was right.
Now she's saying.
Here we go. Salute.
That over an 11-month war. No,
definitely act like he's on. You know what I mean? That mute button, man.
No, we don't know that she's right because your fact checkers haven't checked it and my fact checkers haven't checked it. But let's just go back for a moment. Israel was attacked in the most savage way and women were gang raped, their breasts were cut off. Candace recently had a guest on who even denies that women were raped. Now she's saying it's in the New York Times. She said the other day that the New York Times lied and fabricated about the mass rape of women. She had the former press secretary of Bernie Sanders who denies that. Now she suddenly likes the New York Times. You are speaking to the #1 critic of the New York Times in America. And by the way, this is a typical thing. Candace will say there's no racism in America. Then she will sue, which she did, the Stanford, Connecticut Board of Education for a $40,000 settlement against racism. She then went on a show and fabricated and said it wasn't a settlement. It was actually for tutors for
team hype coming in hot. Said Hebrews were described in scripture Lamentations 4:8. Their visage is blacker than a coal. They are not known in the streets. Their skin cleaveth to their bones. It is withered. It is become like a stick.
1 month. You tell me which tutors are paid $40,000 per month. She will say that I have no right to bring up her family. First of all, I didn't. It was her own father-in-law who condemned her. But she can bring up Brigitte Macron. She can bring up Emmanuel.
Benzo. He said, he will only cuss in Hebrew.
She can destroy their marriage. obsess, and you were very good on that, Pierce, challenging her. She can destroy other people's marriages. And you know what's also interesting?
But hang on.
The day after, wait.
Don't just keep talking.
One final point. The day after.
Hey, Jenny, let me let you know. Let me give you an interesting fact. I'm not Christian or Jew. I'm Muslim. You know what I'm saying? And we believe that there are people, Jews and Christians, that will go to heaven. You know what I mean? We don't think that everybody that's not Muslim is going to hell. We do believe that there's some good J words and there's some good C words and there's some good P words too. Yo, if you like that P word, like Trump do, you know what I'm saying? Because Trump said grab them by the P. Type ones if you like the P. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just...
Day after October 7th, she said nothing for a few days, never condemned it. Yeah. And when you asked her on the show, she said, Pierce, I never talk about anything international.
Wow, look at my salam to Allah.
Is Brigitte Macron...
He woke up.
An American?
But
so
you
she
just...
can speak about the genitals of the First Lady of France for months, but not condemn the gang rape of Jewish women?
I've already said to Candace, I don't believe a word of the Brigitte Macron thing. What I would say about what you've just quoted...
What are you talking about, Fluffy? What about them in ICE jails?
Lord Farmer is saying, you said...
I want to point something out to y'all, right? Now, a lot of people, because they, you know, of the... Because of the, you know what I'm saying, the ICE raids and stuff, there was an argument about people being separated from their family and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, the criminals being separated from their kids. And I always wondered, what the fuck do I care? You know, because I always thought that people didn't care about your kids. Once you go to get locked up and you do a crime, I don't see them running through the fucking projects saying, you know, let's take care of the babies or where's the kids at and shit. You know, when you're an American and you get locked the fuck up, you know what happens with your kids? What happens with your kids is it's up to the world to decide. You know what I'm saying? You're no longer in play. But there's no get back for an American crook. Like, you know, the Crips and Bloods I know and shit that go to jail, you know, nobody gives a fuck about their kids, you know? And remember that movie South Central? You see what happened to little J-Rock? That's what happens to our kids in America. So why is it wrong to point that out? To say that you motherfuckers want me to care about somebody from another country that gets separated from their kids? You know, I'm not going to say fuck those kids or anything like that because I don't get down like that. You know what I'm saying? But I will say that America says fuck those kids because nobody care about nobody's kids when they get locked up. I'm just being honest. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to do that. Let's do it for everybody. Let's go dig in the jail. Let's go back 20 years. Let's go get all these J-Rocks. You know what I'm saying? And let's add some equity into their life, you know, because their pops was a fucking criminal. He decided to get locked up. You know, some of these motherfuckers is coming into this country illegally with their kids strapped to their fucking back. The horror stories. Now, I get it. I get it. Your country's fucked up. You got to get out of there. You know what I'm saying? Because shit is hard for y'all. So come to America and fuck America up. You know? We're not talking about the hard working, honest, you know, with people that's trying to add equity into this country or add equity just into their own family. You ain't got to do nothing for the country. You're just trying to get money for your family, doing it the right way. Cool. But we got, from what I heard, people trafficking people. Dudes is like, it's crazy. Some of the horror stories I'll be reading about. I'm like, damn, I thought this shit was just talk. But then when I start digging into the stories and looking at listening to the stories, I'm like, this is some foul shit. So where's the love for us? Huh? Where's the love for the black man? The blackie man? You know? Where's the love for the white man of America? You know what I'm saying? They get locked up. I don't give a fuck if he's, you know, whatever, you know, neo-Nazi. I don't care what he is. If he's from America, where's the, you know, who cares if he's a neo-Nazi compared to somebody that's fucking trafficking kids, right? Who cares? Something ain't right. Something ain't right, man. I don't know exactly what it is, but something. Know how Son Campbell. Just ain't right. Now, I do find it surprising that she went for Erica Kirk. But I kind of lost track of what was going on. But let me bring you up to speed. And I'm gonna get back to that black and white thing. You know what I'm saying? I don't see nobody arguing for the black man kids when he get locked up for shooting a block up.
I want there to always be full transparency, because what I don't want to have happen is for there not to be, and then I am relying then on social media and other news outlets to explain the narrative rather than saying, hey, this is what happened. This is what here's all of the, it's just as hard.
Man, my man Tacos up in 2 tacos sticking up for the Asian man. You know, the Asian man is doing pretty good, man. You know what I'm saying? The Asian man don't need nobody to stick up for him. Then you don't want me to start talking about China. The China virus.
All of the facts on the table for you guys to see, and you guys can see on full display what happened to my husband, and there is no ifs, ands, or buts or confusion as to who
big ass MAGA DSL, big ass MAGA
did it and why.
I don't believe her at all. That wasn't convincing. I don't know what was hard about.
Yeah, I forgot all about that. I'm a whole fucking Cambodian. I'm Cambodian. I don't care how I talk. Did I just change how I talk?
Getting that sentence out, that seems remarkably rehearsed. It almost just seems like she forgot a line. Nothing in her eyes there makes you believe it. She's telling the truth. But beyond the eyes, just the actions, right? You can judge people by their actions, Erica. If she truly wanted more transparency, she could provide it, because you don't need it in a courtroom. We actually do not need to turn to the courts to have the public understand what happened on that day, because before the courts even got involved, the first people that had access to exactly what happened in 4K, as Tyler Boyer said, was Turning Point USA. They seized the cameras. They could have said, here, I'm also going to have some private investigators take a look at everything and tell them what they think. I was one of the people that called and personally requested to view the tapes. I said, we don't have to release them. I just want to see the tapes. And they were immediately cagey. They've been cagey about information. They've been changing.
Charlie Kirk's wife turned into a complete op after he died.
Information for saying, oh, I didn't realize that we lied about this or we lied about that. So making this public plea to the courts, I don't know. I think that it stands in stark contrast to the action.
Yeah, Erica Kirk disappointed me, man. You know what I mean? She really did. Double tap the screen. Let's get the likes up, please. You know, double tap the screen or go to the top right and hit the 3 dots.
That are available to Erica Kirk as the CEO and chairman of this
app is posted. Salute DSL.
Massive organization, but exactly how massive? Anyway, I wanted to write this open letter to Erica because I know that Turning Point USA watches every episode of this podcast, and that people then take what I say back to her and they give her notation. So I would appreciate it if the elves at Turning Point USA just let her see this in its entirety. Here we go. Because more information has become available to me. I am feeling, I'm feeling some type of way. Here we go. Ready? Dear Erica, I thought it best to do this publicly. I think public conversations keep everybody honest. And there are some things that certainly need to be clarified, because sometimes the gap between the truth and the lie is what happens behind closed doors. You and Charlie began dating in earnest in 2019, and in retrospect, it was accompanied by a season of a lot of change. For one, I was getting married and virtually, therefore, joined at the hip with my fiance. He was sort of a new third wheel at all of our events. A few months later, on May 1st, the public was informed that I was resigning from my position as the communications director of Turning Point USA. Now, there has been a lot of public speculation as to what led to that decision.
I don't blame her for shitting on Turning Point and the rest of them. I don't blame her at all.
The media ran with it was anti-Semitism or some disagreement about Kanye West, but that wasn't true. None of that was true. The truth, and I think that you very well know what the truth is.
DSL.
You were around for it, is that Charlie and I had a disagreement, which fractured my trust in him. He did something that he had never done before. He lied to my face about money. Now, in retrospect, I believe that
I didn't even hear this part. My bad, y'all.
The truth, and I think that you very well know what the truth is, you were around for it, is that Charlie and I had a disagreement, which fractured my trust in him. He did something that he had never done before. He lied to my face about money. Now, in retrospect, I believe that the manner in which I discovered the lie might have been by design, but there's no need for us to delve into conspiracy when the facts are plenty enough.
Oh, speaking of Wu-Tang, Jimmy, don't leave. Because in the second, I'm going to play you the video of RZA cousin, his blood cousin, saying that he was doing the unspeakable to her for years. Said she got pregnant by him multiple times, and the whole family knows. She's blowing the whole family up. It's crazy. I'm going to show it to y'all a little bit. But Wu-Tang is here forever, motherfucker.
Charlie had taken a meeting.
Hey, yo, I want to ask y'all a personal question, right? I want y'all to spam the chat with ones if Wu-Tang is here forever. I don't know what y'all thinking, but, you know, I had to throw it out there. Type twos if they're not.
In Florida with Ike Perlmutter at Mar-a-Lago. It was a fundraising meeting. For whatever reason, he did not want me to know about this meeting, and that was strange. It was meant to be kept a secret. Strange because we had always collaborated on and taken those sorts of meetings together. Anyway, I found out about it, and I decided to ask him casually as we were riding up an elevator at the Trump Hotel in D.C. I said to him, have you heard from Ike recently? And he looked me right in the face, just as he was getting off on his floor. And he said, no, I haven't. I haven't heard from him in like 2 weeks. And I then said back to him, really, Charlie, because you had lunch with him yesterday at Mar-a-Lago. And I saw his stomach drop. His entire face looked, as if he was going down a roller coaster. He stuck his arm back in the elevator really quickly and tried to explain it away. He then pivoted toward an apology, but obviously the damage was done. And if I'm being honest,
too cool in the building.
I was as hurt as I was shocked and confused by it because we were close. We did go back down to the lobby. We sat at a table and we talked.
Now, what she's saying about Charlie Kirk, she has every right in the book to be really blowing this shit up because of her and Charlie Kirk's relationship. They really came up together for real. Now, y'all know my channel. You know I've been covering this shit for years, and we've seen the relationship develop. But I didn't know behind the scenes so much drama was happening. I honestly think that Erica Kirk was fucking jealous of her. Because Charlie Kirk he was making his rounds with this chick, man. They was tearing shit up. This is how y'all know about Candace Owens. Y'all know, what's so weird about y'all? Y'all, some people didn't even know that was Charlie Kirk because Candace was just blazing shit, man. We're gonna get.
I don't even remember whether or not I was angry. I probably was. It does tend to be my choice emotion. But deep down, there was a part of me that knew it because of a lot of the new hires that were coming into Turning Point USA post Kanye tweet. Charlie had new people in his ear that were hijacking his ambition, making him believe that money was the truest measure of success. Charlie was a brilliant fundraiser. Everybody knows that, but he was also young. He was naive to what the wrong money could invite into his life. And I warned him. I warned him in that restaurant. I warned him specifically about Stacey Sheridan. Everything about her.
This broad is honest, man. All that, you know what I'm saying? Psyops and all these words. I ain't that far in school. I don't know these words. I just know what I hear.
My skin crawl. And I suspected she and Tyler had something to do with it. I also warned him about Schaefer Security and Dan Flood. You can check the text messages because you have them. And now I am left wondering, obviously.
When she started talking shit about Trump, that's when I knew they was going to come for her.
If Charlie had heeded my advice, if he would still be
Trump, the J words, Erica Kirk, everybody, man. Double tap screen. Let's get the lights up, y'all.
Alive. I've also come to another realization that I missed at that time. Maybe the newest and the biggest influence in his ear. Who was that? Obviously, it was you. You were the newest and biggest influence in Charlie's life. You kind of all arrived at the same time. And you too, Erica, you lied to my face as we sat down in that hotel and we spoke for 4 hours. But I want to be clear, it was different. You see, with Charlie, I could forgive him. We were always like brother and sister. We went on tours thereafter.
That's right.
But you didn't do it when you lie, you didn't do it out of naivety. You didn't do it because you were young and being pulled into the wrong direction by bad faith actors. Andrew Colvett was never going rogue. You knew that. Every single evil thing that was done to me was done with your blessing. And
she called that bitch out, yo. You know what I'm saying? Double tap screen. Let's get the likes up, man. Because this went under the radar for a lot of y'all.
Consider the onslaught of attacks that I had to endure.
She said, Cherry said, I believe Erica was jealous of her, but I also think she had something to do with his death. Erica, I think, is evil, and Candace is right. He would still be alive because she brushed it up under the rug. Let's think about it. We covered Trump. We was live when Trump got shot. We was live when this shit happened. Well, everything that happened that they're talking about, we was live during that time, right? So to add to Terry's point, right? I think Candace was alluding to the same fact that she think that Erica was complicit.
Evil. Because you knew I was telling the truth. And
Erica, there was a camera right behind Charlie Kirk when he got his fucking nugget taken off. Candace Owens pointed out the fact that that camera was moved. And she was talking about why, right? And then Erica Kirk totally deflected and made her seem like she was crazy.
You authorized people with an incredible amount of money to attack one of the few people in politics who was actually grieving your husband. You knew we had a deep friendship. You knew I was telling the truth about the Catholic thing, about everything. You allowed these people to lie and to say that Charlie and I hadn't spoken since 2019. I mean, it's crazy how much of a lie that was. You authorized it, and I now know that. The question is why? It was so cruel. It was so mean, right? Why impart that on someone who you know within a sea of snakes actually cared about Charlie and didn't want anything out of the organization? Maybe it's because I was like a loose end, one person that wasn't controlled by an organization. I'd just kind of proven that I'd rather lose everything to say something that I don't believe, least of all for money. I mean, maybe it's also because you have his phone. And when I revealed to the public that he had predicted his own death in remarkable detail, maybe you went back and you read the rest of those messages, the ones that I haven't yet revealed to the public, because in retrospect, those messages they're pretty terrifying because they're precise and it feels prophetic. Charlie was gifted. You know that. I know that. And the government most certainly knew that as well since he was a kid, which is why it was at least very interesting to me that you told the New York Times, something that most people didn't pay attention to, but you told the New York Times the night before his murder, Charlie's, and I'm going to quote this, you said that Charlie's adrenal glands were just going off. He couldn't sleep. I know enough about Charlie to know what that means. That means that Charlie was being bothered. He was probably having visions like he was in 2018, probably a clearer vision than the one that I had that you guys tried to mock, that danger was coming. And I'm going to go ahead and say that it wasn't about a Jezebel article written by some leftist. Please stop saying that because it's not true. I know Charlie, a leftist article didn't upset him in this way, didn't make him call a priest to pray over him. He thought someone was going to kill him. He did express that in writing, and you did not lose those text messages. You knew that. But Charlie and I spoke a lot about his third eye. That's why that sentence caught my attention in the article. He spoke about the street lamps that would go off when he would run, about the special school that he had to go to. He spoke about a lot of the things that were strange in our childhood, the testing that both of us had to endure. We spoke about the fact that we could both astral project. You know all of this, of course. You have his phone. And how surprised we were when we learned that not everybody does that naturally. Sleep paralysis, you name it. We had conversations about it. And if Charlie's adrenal glands were going off, it was probably maybe for the very same reason that I pulled my kids out of school.
We get a lot of Donald Trump hate, man, too. Let's get a head count, right? If you still fuck with Donald Trump, type ones in the chat.
Days before he was murdered, because I sensed danger was coming. And since we are being open, I also want you to know that it struck me as odd when you said in that interview with Jesse Waters that you wanted Charlie to have a good night's sleep He was so excited. So you sent him to sleep in his daughter's room. It just registered to me as a little bit backwards. I wanted my husband to have a good night's sleep because of something he had the next day. I'd probably let him sleep in the room, and I would sleep in my daughter's room. Flagged that. I also thought what was interesting is that you said the next morning when he snuck in, he grabbed his wedding band. Again, minor detail, but I asked myself, why was his wedding band off? But enough with speculation. Here are the facts.
Pay attention to what she's saying, y'all.
I now have verifiable.
I told you a while ago, man, we better pray that they'll try to unalive her.
Proof in writing that Justin Strife and you lied to me. You know exactly who Pierre is. Why did Justin Strife say that he had never heard of Pierre? It's crazy. Justin, why would you do that? Justin, you know him. You've met with him. You've personally met with Pierre. Erica, you've met with him in the wake of Charlie's death. I have, again, verifiable proof. So you can call your lawyers. You can spend another $1 billion on PR if you want to. Tell your lawyer to call my lawyer. I mean, you guys certainly have the money to do all of these things. It's not going to wipe away the truth. Okay. The truth is that there was a deal on the table with Pierre, who, yes, is from France, born in France. And that deal was worth billions, not millions, billions, plural, billions of dollars. Just after Charlie was shot, and again, I have proof, Pierre had a phone call with Justin Strife. He also had a phone call with Mr. Don Orico of Turning Point USA down in Tampa. And you know what's really odd? Somehow this Frenchman, Pierre, he knew that Charlie was dead before the rest of the world did. How did he know that? How did he know before I knew? Especially because he wasn't yet a donor to Turning Point USA. Why was he given so much priority? Frenchman. I'm interested. I know that after Charlie died, that deal went through. Yeah. I mean, if I'm lying, this would definitely fall within the category of defamation. So, yeah, I'm all in on this one. I'm guessing, by the way, regarding this, Pierre, this might be the reason that the White House never got back to me regarding the French Foreign Legion being involved with Charlie's assassination. Because, I don't know, there could be a French angle here. Could this be a motive? Could billions of dollars be a motive? I mean, I'll just ask some immediate questions. My question would be, why would a devout Catholic Frenchman be looking to give billions of dollars to an evangelical organization? Is that not weird? Just objectively weird? Gosh, that's a pretty big investment. Just really care about free market capitalism? What's France got to do with college campuses in America? Full stop. The answer, Erica, is nothing. Nothing. And one of the things that when I was a kid, and other GATE kids, because we've been speaking about the GATE program, and they put you in these special classes. They test you frequencies, sounds. They made us drink fluoride, all the weird stuff. But one of the things that they're especially interested in is how quickly you can put together puzzles. And I want you to know that I excelled at that. I was really good at putting together puzzles. I gotta tell you, I think picture is starting to emerge here. I think I was right. My best guess is that it was Pierre Falcone all along of Angola Gate. We talked about it on the show. France, Israel, the United States. This time it would be Egypt rather than Angola, all working together. Maybe they were getting the band back together to traffic because, there's been a lot of trafficking that just keeps coming up in this investigation. These countries, these satellite of countries, you trying to pretend with your what now billions of dollars, got a PR, we can do all of this. And it was so crazy. Oh my God. Little joke about the Egyptian planes. What? Nothing to see here. This is my theory. There's a lot to see here. Because you were lying to cover Bibi Netanyahu's tracks. That's very strange. You were there when Bibi Netanyahu called. Andrew told me that Bibi offered to take Turning Point USA to the next level, and that Charlie turned him down in the Hamptons at the dinner that you were a part of, but you don't remember that part. You say he's just calling about a letter that Charlie wrote 5 months earlier. The dinner that you thereafter allowed an army of influencers to claim never actually happened, but you were there. Oh, I was there every step of the way. None of this ever happened. Nobody wanted to address Bibi calling. Nobody made any statements about that. Full-blown psyop, psychological operation. Truly, everything that you guys did, not only was it cruel, but I think the real motivation was you just thought you could psychologically break me. That's what this whole thing has been. It's been one big psyop. Very well funded because there's a lot of money on the line. If nothing happened in the Hamptons that was out of the usual, why the panic? Because something did happen. Charlie told Bibi Netanyahu no. Bibi, also, Charlie had declined to have Bibi on his podcast. When Bibi went on a little PR tour, Charlie didn't want to have him on the podcast, according to Andrew.
Be honest, could you afford the following auto repairs? Blown motor? Perhaps a ruined transmission? I mean, simply replacing your...
Everybody be kissing her ass until she exposes him.
So Charlie seems pretty done with Israel,
Get
right?
the lights up. Double tap the screen. Let's get the lights up.
You don't want to have on the prime minister of Israel? But the obvious question here at the media is not interested in, but I certainly am, is in exchange for what, right? In exchange for what was Bibi Netanyahu going to take Turning Point USA to the next level? In exchange for what? And also, how was he planning to get that money into the company? Turning Point was already worth $100 million. Pulls in $100 million annually. What does the next level mean? It sounds like it would have to be billions.
Billions.
Via whom? My guess is Pierre. Erica. I think that there's a reason Pierre knew that Charlie was dead first. I think there's a reason he was a priority. How? Why? I think France and Israel are involved in Charlie Kirk's assassination. And I'm going to put that out there with full confidence.
Now, let me take y'all back in the days. Okay, let's go. Okay, now I told you, Charlie Kirk and Eric, Candace was like Batman and Robin. They like brothers and sisters, man. That's what she said. She said, you know what? I could have went through an argument or have a disagreement with Charlie. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, you still see us on tour. But he started letting the money become pop, you know what I mean? His thing. And I used to get in his ass. Meanwhile, Erica was always a hater. Erica was jealous.
Specifically about anything you really said tonight, although I don't really agree with anything you said.
Okay.
Now, y'all remember this one. Candace Owens destroys entire army of woke students. Let's get the lights up.
Part of the LGBTQ community. I've always stood up for my community whenever I needed to.
Is there a question in there or a speech? Yes. You got to ask a question, buddy. I know you wrote this out in your notes, but ask a question. Let's go.
How do you think?
I hear what you're saying, Stacey. You know what I'm saying? You know, she's making all this money because of us morons. That's like saying I'm making all this money because of you. This is a monetized channel. I'm sure you've seen the commercial popped up. You know what I'm saying? So that's like that's the exact thing. That's the exact, you know, you can say that about me and everybody else that's speaking and making money. Shut the fuck up, dummy.
Other people who, with your beliefs, respond to the fact that your hateful and harmful rhetoric costs the lives of queer children every single day, on average, every 45 seconds.
Okay, so this is just going to be a pure boogeyman. You're pretending that someone committed suicide because of Candace Owens. You've got no facts here. You're just going, it's your rhetoric that's causing all of...
I agree. Charlie Kirk was killed because he knew too much, Fluffy. That's a whole fact, you know, and it gets confusing.
When in reality, you want to talk about the tea. I sat down with a man named Walt Heyer who was convinced to chop his penis off after your community told him that there was something wrong with him because he had confusion.
Still him love in the building.
Why was he trans? Because he was molested when he was 4 years old by his uncle. Rather than being sat down and
she was pregnant during this time.
Spoken to by a psychologist, he was handed hormone pills and he eventually chopped off his penis. Walt Heyer is now 80 years old. He detransitioned. He does a lot of work talking about why it is that he runs a charity, okay, an actual charity that is dedicated to sex change regret of people who have changed their parts and can't go back. You know what happens? Suicide rates go up after they transition. And Candace Owens wasn't the one that chopped their dicks off. I just want to say, I am not the doctor who chopped off these people's penises.
And she was, look, just in case y'all don't know, she was making a point of a lot of people that was doing that, you know, cutting their body parts off when they was 18 years old, you know, started committing suicide, doing crimes, and, you know, and all type of shit as a result of that, because their brains are not fully developed. Imagine your kid comes to you and, you know, it was bad enough that, you know, Derek was coming home, you know, as Diana and shit, and the teachers couldn't tell you, because they would have put the teachers in jail if they would have told you. Under that old regime, that's what would have happened. If a teacher would have told, you know, Darnell became Diana only in school. He's becoming Darnell when he goes back home, but in school, he's Diana. The teacher would have told the parent, the teacher would have went to jail. And I think that's unfair.
I'm not the person that caused them to have that depression after they go through these transitions and can't just magically go back. So as I said, that is it's just creating an absolute straw man. Your rhetoric has done this. You have no idea what's going on in those individuals' lives and how they are being inspired to ruin their own lives. And so on my platform, I do host people that have sex change regret. And I speak to those individuals because the community needs to hear those stories before they make those same decisions and can't turn around. Plain and simple.
What do you have to say to the trans students on this campus who feel actively victimized by your presence here?
Now, again, this is a Turning Point USA event. They was all on her side back then. Why did they flip overnight?
Life's tough.
I'm gonna answer that if she hasn't answered it already.
Get a helmet, man. I'm too pregnant for this. Next question. Seriously.
She be wilding on them. Listen to her responses back to these stupid kids.
Somebody just give out free hugs or something, and somebody give out free hugs. I can't be your mommy.
Was all over the place. She was not holding back. I love this one. This is what made me really pay attention to her.
Just give out free hugs or something, and somebody give out free hugs. I can't be your mommy. Okay, I'm too pregnant. I can't be your mommy. Next up.
As a non-binary person, what do you have to tell me about my identity? Because I know for a fact I'm not confused.
Okay, next question. Great statement. Hi, how are you?
Candace Owens is a damn pitbull, man. She takes no shite from any of these people, man. She's uppercutting and right hooking them as they ask their question or make their statements. Like, do these people not know who they're dealing with? Do they not know who she is? Have they not watched her show or watched any of her like debates or these like Turning Point USA events? Because she's going to do this all day long to these people if they go up there unprepared. She's just going to make them look stupid. And
hey, salute to Miss, you know what I'm saying, Miss Benzo in the building. Christopher, salute. You used wrong package color. DBN, what did I do? That's my brother, y'all. Don't play. All right, Henny in the building. You know what I'm saying? Fluffy, welcome. Mike, salute. See what Jazz says. Okay, but we do want to talk about also this poll. You know what I'm saying? No freaky. Now, don't think that the poll that I have up there is something that you slide up and down. Let me just get a heads up. Which is worse, the N word or the F word? 70% of the people say the N word is worse. Interesting.
Look, if you're going to be a woke idiot and you're going to ask silly questions, this is what you're going to get. You know, pow. Let's get back to it.
Hi, I was wondering where you got your statement, your statistic about people who transition, detransition, as well as that you are infertile after transitioning. Because I myself take hormones. I do testosterone injections, and
we do kind of know that.
To a lot of doctors, and none of them told me that was true.
Okay, so on my podcast, I actually cite all the sources. If you look up my name and my podcast, you can, it's in so many articles. And also, as I said, sexchangeregret.org actually lists all of these statistics with their sources. So obviously, I can't give you a hyperlink as I'm standing on the stage, but you can definitely find it on my podcast, and you can find it on sexchangeregret.com.
Sexchangeregret.com, man. When chopping your shit goes wrong.
Thank you for the question. That was like the first question we got there.
How you should be doing it. Ask a legit question or get into a legit debate. Don't call people names. Don't be rude. Don't go up.
Chopping your D word off. Let's just say that.
Up there yelling because you're just going to make your...
One second, ladies and gentlemen. All right. If you're new here, let me know. You know what I'm saying? If you're new, let me know. If you also subscribe to the channel, go to the top right, hit the 3 dots. You know, that's where you can subscribe at. I'm gonna put a QR code up for my other channel, just in case you a troll bastard and you want to tell me off. I got a channel where you could do that at, and I'll allow you up there. Okay.
Yourself look like a fool on any topic. And Candace is right. If you look this stuff up, you will see, especially people that were kind of forced to transition or their parents didn't protect them enough and they transitioned at a young age. By the time they're in their 20s and 30s, they regret it. A lot of these people, say a young boy, for example, who transitions to being a trans woman, a lot of them, they would have just ended up being a gay man, which is totally fine. And they wouldn't have all the issues that they have that came with transitioning into being a woman. So, yeah, there's tons of these stories out there. And some of them are really sad, to be honest with you. If you hear them, if you listen to that stuff, they're quite sad. And these are people that this could have been avoided because...
It'll be sad, too, if I chop my P word off, right? You chop your P word off, you wake up, you have no P between your legs. Come on, man, that would be shocking one day.
They were pretty much taken advantage of when they were little kids. They didn't know all the facts, and they had, in a lot of cases, just bad parenting. Let's get back to it.
Hi. According to Britannica, the definition of the nuclear family has expanded with the advert of same-sex marriage. Children in nuclear families may be couples' biological or adopted offspring. Does this mean that the merch you sell supporting, nuclear families means that you support trans couples adopting, gay couples adopting, and spreading this rhetoric that you talk about?
So you're talking about the expansion of definition. So right now,
well, Goddess, are you trans? You don't have to answer that, but that's an interesting 1.6 regret the surgery. Trans people are only 1% of the population. Why is the right so obsessed with trans people? I don't think that it's an obsession. I think that the trans people are obsessed with turning everybody trans and thinking that, you got to just look, let's be human for a second. Do you believe that a 12-year-old child has the mental capability to decide to know if that will be a good decision to cut anybody part off? Let's just say it wasn't the D word. Let's say it was the A word that they wanted to cut off. And I don't mean ass. Okay? I mean dick. I mean arm. Let's just say if they wanted to cut their double tap the screen, just lights up. If your child wanted to cut their arm off, right? Oh no, fuck an arm. Just the tip of their finger. If your child wanted to just cut the tip of the finger off, would you think that something is wrong with that child? And furthermore, why would you allow that child, knowing that 20 years down the line they're gonna want to use that finger to stick their finger in some? How are they gonna enjoy themselves? I mean, how are they gonna be useful in life with the tip of their finger gone?
They've expanded the definition of woman to include biological males.
We just got to think about it. That's like your cat. You come home and instead of your cat meowing, you go.
This gets back into what I was saying earlier about the left controlling linguistics and just pretending that, okay, a nuclear family can now be two trans parents that are adopting a child. That is not the nuclear family unit that I am talking about. I believe that I am talking about marriage between a male and a female, which naturally and biologically.
I said I only hear people advocate against them. Absolutely not. The brain is not even developed until 30. That is the absolute fact.
It produces children. So no, I do not take that new updated definition of what it means to be a woman or what it means to be a nuclear family.
And this is why I care about this topic, because I care about the
chat. 212, behave. You know what I'm saying? Leave love alone. That's my girl. Okay. Get her in the sector. You heard? People want troll outside my boy People's 212. Scan that QR code. I'll give you a wrench over there. Let you go crazy.
Truth. It's not at all because I care so much about what this community does in their home behind closed doors. Could care
or family when I'm here. You know what I'm saying?
Less. I care about the truth though, and I care about women and their spaces and how they're being affected. I care about children. I care about facts. And I care about human beings, which is why
see that one. KT can't save you over here. Salute the K Troll, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to save her. Okay, leave her alone. Check it out. Now, I want to say this. I just find this ultra weird, right? That we're more focused on that as opposed to that we think that it's cool to say the N-word. I mean, excuse not us, right? Not me, because I don't say nigga, right? But the left thinks that it's cool that to put these words in the book, you know, in our school books, our history books and shit like that. I think it's bad even teaching about slavery from the perspective they teach it from. Why not teach slavery from this perspective? Let's start with Nat Turner. You know what I'm saying? Instead of Kunta Kinte, because that Kunta Kinte shit was a play against us. Stop calling yourself African American. Start claiming the word Negro or colored. You want to know why? Because your name was changed to that. You know what I mean? Like they took that away from you and made it seem derogatory so they could take away from your rights out of this country. How can they really break it down to you? But stop worrying about that word. You know, stop worrying about that. I'm talking about the F word. Y'all worrying about all these derogatory terms towards these people. What about our whole? What about when they want to use the black, the color, your color? You know what I'm saying, to get your vote? Start questioning them about the history of this country. You really speaking for black people? Well, let me see your mouth make some movement for us. All right, teach them history, man. Go back, call them out.
When you start changing the word fetus in the dictionary to suit your needs or your narrative or the ideology that you're trying to preach, when you start changing the word woman, when you start...
wanted to make sure nobody got his DNA to make another motherfucker like that. You heard? That's why they ate him up like that.
Changing the definition of what a nuclear family is.
Savagery.
Then people start to care. A man cannot just miraculously become a woman. A woman just can't miraculously become a man based on I feel like a woman or I feel like a man. No man on the planet, nobody.
Sedation.
Fluffy says, an Asian trans people don't make this silly discussions. Only there you can buy easily the hormones, but I think there is not this propaganda like there is here. Yeah, well, Asia, you know, a lot of places in Asia, you know what I'm saying, especially China, is doing things, you know, the culture is different. And I'm gonna keep it real, man. They do not allow them to be
population
too much.
Guys, if you like
our culture, you know what I'm saying? They don't allow them to be exposed to this culture because, you know, when they go, they don't have YouTube. They have something else. I did a review on it one day. I forgot the name of it. Their equivalent of YouTube, but they don't allow them to see what the fuck we got going on over here. It's very controlled. And that's why they think all black people all are rappers.
Have opposite views, but I do want to have a genuine conversation without
And
feeling.
we don't believe that all Chinese people eat rats, but a lot of Chinese people believe that all black people are rappers.
Belittled, so I do just want to preface that.
Yeah.
I am a feminist. I do study specifically academia and the structure of academia and what that looks like for people of color. So in relation to free speech, like, do you feel that like free speech is free for everybody in terms of Western society and the America that we live in today? And at what point does free speech no longer become free?
What do you mean? At what point does it become no longer become free?
Some rhetoric can be harmful to other communities, especially in the way that it's spread in the media. And I think that goes for both sides. But
can you give me an example? It's always easier to, you know, answer a question.
So like what I know we all are aware of what happened on campus last year.
I'm not.
Okay. Great. Look it up.
Girl, you can't go up there and say, oh, I have different points of views, but I want to have a nice, you know, debate, a good conversation, and then take that route.
Sidetrack to some shit that she ain't got nothing to do with.
That's not going to work.
So it was just involving the feeling of LGBTQ members of the community feeling unsafe with rhetoric that's being shared in terms of transphobia.
Like what? Like if you're a man, I need an example. And someone like if you're a biological man and someone says, "Hey, what's up, dude?"
More of like there's students on campus that are living in communities where they don't feel safe because of rhetoric of explaining that transphobia isn't accepted. So my question is just like, how do you think free speech impacts everybody in community?
Yeah, I mean, the idea that if somebody looks at a man and calls them a man, that they're suddenly unsafe because they've created a false reality in their own head. Yeah, I don't abide by that. I think this is what's really happening is that we are celebrating mental disorders in America right now. I had a
stalker, a very serious stalker at FBI ended up getting involved who had suffered from schizophrenia. He very much believed, and it was a terrifying thing to go through. He escaped the Psych 5150 holds, and he very much believed that he and I were in a relationship, and he would send me about 100 emails a day, okay? In the world of what you believe in your own head now needs to be accepted as reality, I would have had to marry him and raise my children with him, okay? But what was going on in his head wasn't actually reality. And me saying that this person needs to stay away from me and my family because there's something wrong with him and he was threatening to kill me if I didn't, raise my child with him, that was reality. That was something that had to be dealt with. So what's happened right now is the left is trying to make it seem that people who see reality for what it is are demented and are creating unsafe territory, and that's not the truth. In fact, what I think is unsafe territory is for people to be affirmed in their delusions. So I will never refer to a biological male as a female. And if that makes somebody feel unsafe, I'm not following you around. I don't know what happened on your campus. I wouldn't follow you around and say, hey, you're a male. Totally fine. Go live your life as you want to live your life. But when you say that the way that you live your life now has to impact me and I have to pretend that I see a woman when clearly you are a man, I shouldn't have to play that game. That's all. Thank you very much.
All right, let's get one more of these, debates and masturbations. And double tap the screen, go to the top right, hit the three dots if you're not subscribed already. I want to speak about Mexico and El Mencho and who he not really who he was. I just want to show you how they fucking up Mexico. They're tearing the shit up. They bazooka and shit. It's crazy in Mexico. Double tap the screen. Let's get the likes up. And let's get me to 50,000 subscribers, man. Salute to everybody to subscribe. Since I start going live again, salute to my wrenches, the people that's in the building. I'm viral all over the fucking place. All right. Now, I do want you to know that this is a monetized channel and nobody's paying me to have these opinions. It's called Mac Mean True Story. I just say whatever the fuck I want,
Mentioned black officers back there. And when we talk about institutional racism, we're talking about the entire system as a whole. We're not
pay attention. This is a woke one.
We don't say fuck white police. We say fuck the police because the entire system, it's the entire system that is racist. Me personally, while I'm driving as a
they fuck the police until you need them.
black woman in a Mercedes, I was pulled over driving while black. Have you ever heard of it?
It's funny that the criminals, ex-criminals like me say y'all gonna need them police. See, a dude like me, when I used to be on, I might have fucking kidnapped one of your local drug dealers, man. Oh yeah, I'd have caught his ass slipping, you know what I'm saying? And then some people would catch the drug dealer's mother who has nothing to do with any of this street shit. You know what I'm saying? You think that civilian woman don't need the police? You think that dude is going to run to her, while he's vacationing and got his feet in the water and they go grab his mother up? You think they give a fuck about that shit? You know what I'm saying? It's never fuck the police. Y'all going to need the police in America. Trust me. You need the police. It's always somebody that never did nothing that's talking about fuck the police.
I've heard of driving while black.
And it happened because the entire system.
Provoke. So let's dive right in.
So I'm glad you mentioned black officers back there. Yeah. And when we talk about institutional racism,
if you've seen a commercial just pop up on your channel, type ones.
We're talking about the entire system as a whole. We don't say
that means I'm doing my job.
Fuck white police. We say fuck the police because the entire system, it's the entire system that is racist. Me personally, while I'm driving as a black woman in a Mercedes, I was pulled over driving while black. Have you ever?
No, I didn't say I would kidnap you. I will also be kidnapped if I want to make a vacation in USA because of ICE. So I know now. No, you won't. You won't be kidnapped. If you do it the right way. Nobody ain't talking about you. Are you trafficking people?
Heard of it?
I've heard of driving while black.
And it happens. It's happened to all of my brothers. It's happened to my father. It's happened to my uncles. This is a system of racism. Bro, I'm not about to do this with you. And you know what? I'm not even asking a question because I'm not down.
You didn't have a question from the beginning. It was just statements and outbursts.
I'm not down to sit here and sing Kumbaya and hold hands and talk about what we can change because we've been telling you guys, if you have to ask us what our problem is, it's no point. It's no point.
I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it again. And it's the exact same thing I said earlier. I refuse to take a black person seriously that wants
to talk to me about the 0.00004% of black people, unarmed black people that are shot by.
One second, y'all.
Police officers and does not want to have a conversation with me about the 17
And I want to remind you that's Charlie Kirk sitting next to her.
million black babies that were aborted. No. What you guys are boycotting, you're focused on things that are not negatively. More black people were got struck by lightning in 2016 than shot by police. More police officers were shot by black people than the other way around. So what it comes down to is this is a lot of motion and there's no fact. That's what it comes down to. There's no fact.
It's absolutely true. Even PolitiFact, an organization often criticized for leaning left, had to acknowledge this fact. A criminal suspect is 20 times more likely to shoot a police officer than a police officer is to shoot and kill the suspect. The disparity in these statistics is stark and undeniable.
It is fitting that you came up here with a Malcolm X book because you articulated exactly the opposite of some of the stuff he said. But also, you're right. Thank you. Yeah, flick me off. That's tolerant. It works.
Tolerant.
You're right. You don't want
a middle finger up at him.
Kumbaya. This is why the left must be obliterated in America, because they don't want to agree with us.
Hang tight. Everyone, we've got another clip coming up. I loved how Charlie said obliterated. It's refreshing to hear someone speak so directly, calling to obliterate the leftist ideology that's, in his words, plaguing our society. Amen to that, Charlie. Now, as for the leftist narrative about so-called bloodthirst.
Hey, Anthony, you don't really sound black to me. You said y'all gonna keep it up and blacks gonna start acting up. Blacks don't call blacks. We don't call ourselves blacks. That's how I know you're not black. Right, y'all gonna keep, and then you type all capitals. So I'm gonna definitely time you out after this, right? But look, I want y'all to take note of the comment I got pinned up here, right? I'm posted up here, highlighted. Excuse me. Y'all gonna keep it up, and blacks gonna start acting up. Remember, we got more guns than police these days. Food. I guess they trying to say food for thought. Don't force our hands. Shut up. You know what I'm saying? Time that person out now, right? Check it out. Time them out for 86,000 seconds. You want to know why? Because black people don't refer to ourselves as blacks. Okay? I'm all black, born and raised. Black people don't say I'm all black, born and raised. Bruh, I'm all black, and I tell people I'm Cambodian. Okay? All right? Don't let that fly over your head, goofy. You know what I'm saying? What are you trying to prove here? The only reason I'm timing you out is because they're all capital letters, bro. You're going to get timed out for 86,000 seconds. More guns than the fucking police. Are you stupid? Niggas ain't got no guns. They in New York shooting guns from 1989. At all these raids, when they showed the layout of the fucking arsenal of guns they had guns with fucking with masking tape around. Some of these zesty ass gangsters got pink Glocks, and I don't even know if them should shoot. It might hurt. Okay. Knock it the fuck off. You got more. Anybody that's in the military, my son is a Marine. My son and 5 of his friends will take a project out. My son and 5 of his friends will take your whole fucking projects out. Okay? Do you understand? All right? Black people would never say that because black people know better. You know what I mean? You goofy. You think we got guns? No, we don't.
Cops, white or otherwise, gunning down innocent black people purely out of racism. It simply doesn't hold up. Take some of the most well-known cases pushed by the left over the years, like the shooting of Michael Brown. Initially, the narrative portrayed him as an unarmed black teenager who was unjustly—
Pay attention. Look at all this money out here. Look at all this money, man. Yo, dying for us, bro. It's profitable. Just ask the record labels. You know what I'm saying?
Killed But as trial details emerged, it became clear that Officer Darren Wilson, who lost his job and faced public vilification, fired at
What's fake, Sappy? I'm talking.
Brown only after Brown attacked him and tried to take his gun. Just prior to this, Brown had committed a strong armed robbery at a cigarette shop. Yes, it's tragic when anyone loses their life. But was it white supremacy that caused his death? No. Brown was acting violently, and he faced the consequences of those actions. This narrative of white supremacy and systemic oppression is misleading.
She joins us tonight. Candace, thanks so much for coming on. I mean, maybe I'm being too soft, but anybody who can talk.
Let's just get to this point, right? Because I do want to make mention of this, right? That, you know, like when they get these people about the country, and we kind of beating a dead horse here, but I do want to go back to that, you know, when we get locked up, Black, Spanish, you know what I'm saying, whites in America, nobody gives a fuck about our kids. Nobody cares about our kids. Nobody checks up on our kids. We don't have no intervention for our children. They just become J-Rock from South Central, stealing radios and shit. Check this out.
On the left all the time, okay? Well, don't make this a feminism issue because it's not a feminism
But
issue.
it is,
You're going out and attacking women. You're not. I'm not done. Okay? When you're going out and attacking women, you are not a feminist. This is not defensible whatsoever. And you sit here and you say that it's because you care about mothers. The basis of
this is the worst one. She's gonna dog walk this broad.
This is that people are upset that illegal immigrants are being separated from their mothers. Why don't you refocus some of that energy to the Black community? They've been having their families separated. In fact, it's subsidized in the Black community. You appreciate single motherhood. You are given more money to.
I'm trying to tell you. Let's get the likes up, please. Double tap the screen, get the likes up, and share the video, man. If you have a channel, please post it on your wall.
Families for fatherless absence. So all of this selective fake outrage when you guys do not have the same defenses for the Black community is really lost on me. And it's time's up on this altogether. I think the Black community.
Now let's see if they address the Black community.
Has had enough of you guys being selectively outraged for parents of illegal immigrants, but not for the parents of the Black community who have been separated from their family for about 6 decades.
All right, and I just want to point out.
Oh, she said what I'm saying.
Same defenses for the Black community is really lost on me, and it's time's up on this.
This is the outrage for us, poor niggas, huh?
Altogether, I think the Black community has had enough of you guys being selectively outraged for parents of illegal immigrants, but not for the parents of the Black community who have been separated from their family for about 6 decades.
All right, and ladies, I just want to point out.
Wait. Candace ain't playing. No holds bars, unleashing, as she usually does. And you can tell right away, you can usually spot when somebody's fake, especially in the political sphere, if I could speak English. This girl right here, just by her sheer reaction, is clearly disingenuous, as most of these left-wing Looney Tunes are. But Candace is saying, hey, you're paying all this mind and giving all this focus and attention to immigrants, but what about the Black community? What about Black mothers? You give them bonuses and dish out money like it's going out of style for mothers being single and not having fathers in the homes. How about flipping the script and promoting 2-parent households, promoting marriage, that covenant that God created, where everything functions a whole lot smoother when you have 2 parents in the household. Now it'll go a whole lot smoother all around if you base it in godly values and raise your children with discipline and instill those godly foundations in their lives and sculpt them that way. But
thank you for pointing this out, man. And they never answer that question. Y'all so mad about this, but what about this?
Let's at least start with promoting 2-parent households instead of rewarding mothers for being single, for just basically sleeping around, or, the fathers play a role in it too. They have a responsibility as well, but don't give all this credit to immigrants and illegal people and things of that nature. Why not promote 2-parent householdes? Why not start there?
And ladies, I just want to point out, ladies, I just want to point out, let's keep this civil. As I opened up this segment, there is already so much hate, indecency in this country. So let's just keep this debate a debate and keep it civil. Jessica, your response.
I believe I was keeping it civil, and then Candace told me that I wasn't a feminist. I also believe that Candace doesn't speak for the entire.
I said the left. I said the left. I didn't say you, Jessica. So don't make it personal. I said the left. It's selective feminism on the left that we're seeing.
I disagree with you, and I'm going to do that politely. I'm going to return to my original argument, which is that we have heard this for years, that Kellyanne Conway, Sarah Huckabee.
Watch my girl take off. She's gonna be like, yo, Candace, move over. Well, let me get handle this bitch. Watch.
Sanders and all the women who work for this president and support his agenda aren't getting their due. They're not getting their due from the feminist community because they're
hell yeah, Mike.
Advocating for policies that hurt women, that keep them in a bad economic position, that don't allow them to live equally in this society.
Can
They deny the wage.
Jessica?
Yes,
For the black women.
Well, Ms. Benzo, we let's say more people need to be married. I think that she's really speaking about, you know, the destruction and separation of the black family, you know, when they get incarcerated, you know, because we made so much headlines in the last 5 years about, you know, the illegals. We ain't talking about the legals, the illegals. You know what I mean? Like me, like when I got locked up, I was an illegal. Fortunately for me, I didn't have children. You know what I'm saying? But that's what we're talking about, the separation of families.
That's fine. Do you think that Kirstjen Nielsen should be harassed because of her position and because what is going on with immigration? Do you think because of that she deserves to
She's gonna get mad when she doesn't answer this? Watch.
Be treated the way that she does? She was essentially forced out of a Mexican restaurant. Protesters in there. You may disagree with her, but do you think the way she's been treated is fair?
I think that what Kirstjen Nielsen did in initially coming out and
I want y'all to pay attention, right? To this. Everybody that's here right now, double tap the screen. Let's get the lights up. But this questioning right here that just happens. I want to show you a classic sign of deflection, right? I want to show you also too that there's no heart here, because she's gonna ask her, okay, yeah, you know, despite her politics, do you think that she deserves to be hounded in a fucking restaurant and ran out of a restaurant by some random person? This woman is going to tell her because she's in politics, she should be open to anybody running down on her and question about whatever. So you trying to tell me that the politicians, because of their opinion or their political stance, they're not safe to be in public, and it's cool to do that shit? What if she decides to stand her fucking ground and act like she's scared and hurt one of them? Because they be coming at her crazy. They come at Candace crazy. They was, you know what I'm saying? They got to have security these days. Candace had a whole dude thinking he was in a relationship with her. They locked his ass up. He was bugging the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about lunatic shit.
lying about what this president's policy did, then having to backtrack.
She's going to stop us. Say, do you believe that to be just because of political stance, she deserves to be harassed? Simple.
On it.
That wasn't
my
question, though, Jessica. That wasn't my question, though.
I think that people should have civil conversations about it, and certainly have every right as a public official to come up to her table and to call her out on her lies and this administration's lies. If she wants to leave because of it, that's on her. But she should be open to that.
Some thug ass shit to say. You seen Candace started laughing as soon as she asked that. I'm gonna go back a little bit. I know I'm being a little obnoxious, but you know it is Friday, you know what I'm saying? So double tap the screen, let's get the lights up. Or go to the top right too also and hit the subscribe button. I think I'm almost at 47,000. We try to get to 50.
Deny the wage.
Yes,
same for the black women.
Same
for black women in
do you
society.
think that Kirstjen Nielsen should be harassed because of her position and because what is going on with immigration? Do you think because of that she deserves to be treated the way that she does? She was essentially forced out of a Mexican restaurant. Protesters in there. You may disagree with her, but do you think the way she's been
Mexicans is wilding
treated is fair?
I think that what Kirstjen Nielsen did in initially coming out and lying about what this president's policy did, then having to backtrack on it,
That wasn't
puts her in a very
my
tenuous
question, though,
position.
Jessica. That wasn't
I think
my
that-
question, though.
I
My
think
question
that
was, does she
people
deserve that?
should have civil conversations about it, and certainly have every right as a public official to come up to her table and to call her out on her lies and this administration's lies. If she wants to leave because of it, that's on her. But she should be open to that dialogue with the American.
fucking goons. Political goons. I'm talking about legal goons. This bitch probably never seen crime done ever in her life. But yet they fight for, you know what, man? I wish these people was around when, you know what I mean? Like when I was out in the streets dragging people around and robbing them and shit.
This is a very slippery slope.
Candace, very quickly,
this is a very slippery slope. The left should stop this, because then you're basically saying that in the future, this is going to be allowed in administrations that you do support. And as I said, the selective outrage for illegal families, when this has been going on in the black community, no one talks about the fathers that are separated, the fathers that are behind bars, the fathers that are buried on the south side of Chicago and in Baltimore. So again, this is completely, to me, seems like fake outrage, and I don't support it whatsoever.
Candace, that's why President Obama
We're going to have to leave it
had
there.
his father's program.
Yes, it was
do
Obama's
talk about
administration that sanctioned those programs.
Candace and Jessica, we will leave the debate right there.
Thanks, Abby.
Have a good Sunday, both of you. Thank you so much.
All right, let's take it to Mexico, man, because the Mexicans surprised me. They always surprise me, man. I always thought, they made enough fucking tunnels for the cartel. Everybody was eating. When you don't pay that tax, that American tax, you can't bring your shit in the country without. And then, back then, I'm from the old school. It was all about the cocaine, the weed, but now it's about some shit called fentanyl. You know what I mean? They mixing it up. These motherfuckers done fine. You ever seen Breaking Bad? Yeah, when I used to pop them ecstasy pills, man, that was my favorite show. You know what I'm saying? Jessica Taylor gets paid to promote woke Democrat ideas. She's a jerk. Fox should fire her. Okay, check it out. Let's get there.
I'm Shauna Kalafi. We are following some developing news out of Mexico. Today, the Mexican army says they killed a powerful cartel leader during an operation meant to capture him. The Defense Department says the leader of the Jalisco New Generation cartel
meant to capture him. They never meant to capture El Mencho. They say he had more bodies than Popeye. Popeye had like 200 bodies. That was Juan. I forgot his name. My name is Juan. I forgot his name. His nickname was Popeye. He was putting shit down. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah. They have a series about him too. You know what I'm saying? But I heard this dude El Mencho was even worse than him. El Mencho was a nigga. Yeah, I'm not gonna give y'all no fake facts. But I heard he was a bad boy.
was wounded during that operation about 2 hours from Guadalajara, and he later died while he was being flown to Mexico City. And this is a very powerful cartel there in Mexico. The leader now.
Yeah, Trump ain't playing. He want to snatch the whole president up out the country. That's some bad boy shit. I ain't gonna lie, man. Y'all don't think that that's the American way to go snatch somebody out their country while they in bed, grab their wife up, put them in your jail? You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. That's gangster as fuck. I think they need to go snatch the other little Chinese dude up too. Go get him. Throw some crimes on his ass.
Killed by the Mexican army, according to the Defense Department there. For more on this story, let's bring in Chris Dalby. He is an investigative journalist and author of CJNG, a guide to Mexico's deadliest cartel. Thank you so much for being here, Chris.
It's an absolute pleasure, Shauna. Thank you for having me.
So you actually wrote a book about this particular cartel, the CJNG. The Associated Press calls it the most powerful cartel in Mexico. The U.S. Deputy Secretary of State described the leader as one of the most ruthless drug kingpins in the world. Can you tell us more about this?
Absolutely. If you've heard about the worst of Mexican cartel violence, the most abhorrent acts, the bodies, the decapitated corpses, the videos, a lot of that begins with the CJNG. El Mencho is one of the most influential drug kingpins in the last 30 years. I would put him at the same level as Pablo Escobar and El Chapo when it comes to the quantity of drugs that his organization has moved in Mexico, in the United States, and further abroad. He is directly and indirectly responsible for the deaths of thousands of people in Mexico and through drugs in the United States. The problem is that while he absolutely deserved to face justice, removing him removes the man who kept the CJNG united.
Yeah, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Them corrupt ass police down there, man. Mexico be doing bad, bro. They was out there in LA protesting, burning shit on the road, bugging the fuck out. Like they our cousins, man. Mexico don't, Mexico's our underwears and Canada's our do-rag. Y'all know my slogan. Double tap the screen to get the likes up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Canada's our do-rag. We don't even fucking get syrup from the dudes. We don't even get weed. We've made weed legal in America. We don't need Canada. What the fuck we need Canada for? You know what I'm saying?
Identifying as transgender females in Wisconsin prisons have been convicted of at least.
Now this says Alphabet Mafia. Candace Owens destroys the LGBT.
It's one count of sexual assault or sexual abuse.
I just find all this shit entertaining, you know?
Out of 161 transgender identifying male inmates, 81 of them have been convicted.
My boy Al Prophet. Al Prophet been speaking on the cartel war for a minute now. Seems like everything getting worse.
Of such offenses, including crimes like sexual exploitation of
Chef, salute Mr. X in the building.
Child, rape, and sexual intercourse without consent. The Oversight Project at the Heritage Foundation obtained these records, and Director Mike Howell emphasized that men belong with men and men only in prison. He argued that housing sex offender men who claim to be women with female inmates is concerning and contributes to perceived moral decline. What do you have to say about this story?
I mean, least surprising story ever. I've been talking about this, and there's a two-prong approach here. First and foremost, the advantage of a man, you commit a crime, you commit a sex crime, you molest a child, and you know how they treat pedophiles in prison, you know how they treat sexual deviants in prison. So you say, actually, no, I'm transgendered. That's what's actually happening. Please put me amongst the women inmates who now need to accept. And the fact that the prisons are doing this, they're acknowledging them and affirming them, and that taxpayers are having to bear the expense. I can't even talk about how much that infuriates me. But the second,
no, I disagree. Hey, Candace, I was in jail. I had 20 years. You know what I'm saying? Now you put one of the mooks in the male jail, they're gonna have a fucking riot. You better off that big goofy motherfucker go to a female jail and beat them girls up. You know what I'm saying? And have a few fights here and there. Because if you put them in a man jail, I'm telling you, man. They are gonna have knife fights over that.
Element of this is that there is what's not being
true story
spoken about. Well, it's definitely being spoken about on my podcast. Is the
way they fixing the mooks up? Oh God, man, they giving them the full detail. I mean, you know what I mean? You take this car to the fucking joint and get these
growing alphabet
titties
mafia.
Imagine nigga sitting up in there doing life and see a pair half. They going crazy in the joint. Astaghfirullah, Aki.
And how they are now adding letters that really just imply sexual
dirty sector. They love them. Long time.
Deviancy. You know what I mean? Like a man feeling the need to
been in the yard at 8 o'clock and shit. Everybody like tapping like, yo, where are these people at? I'm not going that cold ass yard. You know what I'm saying? I don't go out like a fucking football player or some shit. You know what I mean? Nah. They spending the yard at 8 o'clock. They scheming. What's that? Oh my God. You should have seen when fucking Corey Wise from the Central Park 6 or whatever the fuck, Central Park 5 or whatever the fuck them niggas is. That nigga brother, he dead now. Name was Marcy. Marcy came to Collins. Oh my God. Motherfuckers was running to the window over Marcy. Jesus Christ. Imagine what they'll do today. Nah, Candace, don't put them niggas in the male jail. Don't put them in a female jail. Don't put them in jail at all. You want me to tell you what you do with them?
Put on panties, a woman's underwear, and you're pretending that that's like a gender or an identity. Perfect example. Sam.
Word up, man. I never understood how somebody will have something attached to them. You know, that's like me having, let's say if I take my finger and I put it in this hat, right? Check it out. I'll give you an example. Let me take my finger. No, excuse me. My finger has feelings. Excuse me, my bad. I might like what I'm feeling, right? Check it out. Let's say I take this pencil, this marker, and you see this hat? This hat has a nice little slit there, right? I take the hat and insert it into the hat. Like this. I want y'all to pay attention. Don't YouTube. This is for educational purposes. I take the pencil and I put it into the hat, right? Like that. And then I take it out of the hat. And then I put it into the hat. And the next time I put it in the hat, and I go, ooh, you like that? You love that, right? If I said that. If I did that, right, would no freaky, no homo, no homo, no homo, no homo. This is a female hat. And this is a male pencil. No, excuse me. This is a female's hat and a female's pencil. No, this is a female's hat, a male's pencil, a female holding it. So the female holds the male pencil and puts the male pencil towards the hat. Surely I'm going to get struck, right? And then makes the hat, the pencil disappear in the hat and pulls it out and go, ooh, you like that? Get in the chat. What would y'all call me? Crazy? Maybe. I don't know. Now, I'm not saying that this is really a female hat, but it could be. Ooh, child. Let's say I had this female roll of tissue, and then I have a male's drill, but a female is holding the drill. Better yet, let's say I have a male's tripod. And a female's jar of Vaseline. No Hassan Campbell, right? You know what? Let me just... I'm trying to tell y'all something. I'm just trying to say that if you put one of these flaming mooks in the male's jail, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of mental illness going to be taking place.
Brenton, the nuclear energy White House person who literally was open about the fact that he was a sexual deviant. I mean, wearing heels, lipstick.
That what's up, nigga. Hey, yo, time that motherfucker out for 86,000 seconds, man. Salute to you, though, man. If you want to troll me, go ahead and scan that QR code up there. That's my other channel. I'll let you get away with shit like that, nigga. But not here.
Into pup play, which if you look into what pup play actually is, you will be shocked at how disgusting it is. You know, on a leash and still got the job. You know, you used to be fearful that if they Googled you and you'd find this stuff online, your employer, you couldn't get hired. This guy got right.
Oh, this guy.
That used to be that used to be a disqualifier if you could find somebody naked and in straps and into pup play. Sam Britton just outwardly, I am a freak and flying my freak high, gets the job at the White House.
Job? He was a
head of nuclear waste in the energy department.
I gotta go.
No, I promise you. I promise you. And then guess what happened?
He's a klepto.
He got arrested.
Yo, look at Chef comment, y'all.
3 times for stealing women's panties at freaking airports.
That guy?
Yes. And
not just one pair, a whole suitcase full. I'm calling BS. A guy like that would never do something like this, Candace. What are you talking about?
What are you supposed to be surprised?
I am shocked.
Told you I'm a freak, and then I did some freaky things, right? And that's what's happening right now in this climate of non-binary. I'm a man, but I want to wear women's underwear and be free. They're telling you that something is wrong, right? They are saying I am flying my freak flag high. And then we're all supposed to be shocked when they do something that's sexually deviant. And that it's mind-boggling to me. It's why it is an issue that I care passionately about. I am a mother to young children. Why does a drag queen want access to a child? Can anybody answer that big question? Okay,
what's this drag queen?
You're a man and you like to dress up as a woman and go to nightclubs, okay? Flying your free flag high. Now you're demanding access to read books to children. Does that not just, does it pass the sniff test, guys? You know? And then you have
I
women,
wouldn't want to do the
women
sniff
out
test
there.
with this one.
You know what's really interesting.
We're here. We're queer. We're coming for your children. You've heard this before.
Yes.
Let's all say it in unison, guys. Right? I mean, it's scary.
And here's my thing. Like, for instance, like you know, we have everybody here has freaking gay friends. I have gay family members. When it comes to like the Pride Month,
my best friend is white. Double tap the screen. Let's get the lights up
and everything. It's like, could you talk about the sexuality of it? It's like, when is it?
Fuck, y'all don't know Nitty. Nitty's white. He's tall. You know what I'm saying? Like 6'2", white boy.
Is it ever cool? Name another month or a day or a moment where it's cool for any group to walk outside butt naked, G-string. And I get that there's like.
You know what I'm laughing about? I'm laughing the way you say butt naked, man. The black came out of him. Let's get the likes up, man. Get the likes of 200. Salute to everybody that's new here. If you new, let me know what city you from, man, because a lot of y'all some weird motherfuckers.
When is it ever cool? Name another month or a day or a moment where it's cool for any group to walk outside butt naked, G-string. And I get that there's like people are bringing their kids, which I think they should, you know, go to jail. But
not bad, not my bad. I want him to say butt naked one more time. My bad. Let's get the lights up.
Or a moment where it's cool for any group to walk outside butt naked, G-string. And I get that there's like people are bringing their kids, which I think they should, you know, go to jail. But when is it ever cool for you to be on a bike butt naked? Yeah. How is that?
Literally, if I said, hey,
nah, he did that too good. Hold up. He did that way too good, son. When is it cool to be butt naked? But you know what I mean? This is like Latin pain, y'all. He tries to hide his zestiness, but it just comes out. You know what I'm saying? Just comes out. Zesty fucking, you know, let me explain, you know, to the new people in the audience, right? If you don't understand what I'm talking about, you know what the saddest sight to see? To see a fucking zesty Spanish gangbanger, you know? A zesty Spanish gangbanger. Let me just see if I'm bugging the fuck out right here.
For you to be in a bike butt naked, yeah.
See what I'm talking about? What? No, come on, bro. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? Now I understand what you're saying, but bro, you gotta calm the fuck down, yo. You better calm down. Put your tongue back in your mouth.
How is that?
Literally, if I said, hey guys, tomorrow's family day.
Okay.
We're going to have a family parade and we're going to celebrate families. No person is showing up butt naked, right? It's no family showing. So
well, you don't know
there's
Tom.
something
Tom
about
Get naked. He's gonna bust a blood vessel too.
Got a bicycle, you know, the men that were on bicycles literally naked, right? But for some reason, when you say it's an LGBTQ pride parade, you know you're going to see nudity. What does that tell you? And people are fearful to talk about this. And it's crazy to me as a parent.
You want to bring kids out to watch this shit? That's what I don't understand. Do what you do. But when there's children involved, you can't, that sends the wrong message. Come on, bucket naked, man. Come on.
That we've allowed this to go so far, that we've allowed sexual deviancy to be perceived as an identity, you know, as, you know, something that needs to be treated and loved. And who are the people behind saying we have a lot? Women. It's always women.
Why do women not see the ridiculousness? And why aren't the women speaking out more about trans men in sports? Like, why don't?
Well, because those
aren't.
Those are feminists. Those are the Chelsea handlers, right? And so that's a whole different simulation.
Saddest sight I've seen this year, to see a male boxer, you know what I mean? A trans boxer that used to be man, but now he's telling people he's a woman, beat up a woman in the ring. That is a horrible sight to see. I'm going to show it to y'all.
It's the moms at home are not the ones that are pushing that.
What percentage of women under 30, best guess, do you think fall into that type of ideology?
Like feminist?
Yeah. Like they love Chelsea Handler. They're cool with this. They're cool with men being in sports.
Difference if you're talking like early 20s versus end of 20s.
I'm saying Gen Z. Let's talk about that. 25 and under. That's the future.
Mm-hmm.
This is who we're trying to convince not to go down this path.
A percentage?
That's what I'm getting. Well, I know that you've highlighted that 20% of Gen Z identifies LGBT.
I mean, look, here's a mayor in Burbank. He's an Armenian mayor. Okay, this guy.
Pay attention, y'all.
The classroom.
This is a mayor.
He's having this guy spank him. Check this out.
This is the Burbank?
This is the Burbank mayor.
The music might be.
That's the Burbank mayor that's doing this.
Pride, proud.
That's wild, yo. Yeah, that's how Latin Pain do. You know what I'm saying? He bend over just like that.
Check this out.
This is the Burbank?
This is the Burbank mayor.
The music might be.
That's the Burbank mayor.
Don't get it twisted. That's the song Macho, Macho Man.
That's doing this.
Pride, proud, love is love.
I mean,
she's a strong warrior.
And he's like, what's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with some of the craziest tweets came out about this guy, which is absolutely wild when you see the GUSD folks.
I am goofy. I'm not going to lie. That's why I hit you for my channel.
Posted his tweet.
Oh my God.
Constantine Anthony out of Burbank doing this. By the way,
crazy. I'm gonna tell you something. You know, when I do it to them, not y'all, but when I do it, no freaky, right? They actually be typing. Some of these people they'll be typing for months and they think that we can see them. We cannot see what you type. Trust me, let me give you a heads up. Stay woke. Don't type. Just go scroll somewhere else because this is not your type. You're not gonna win here.
Here's Oklahoma elementary.
All we're doing is giving emotional damage on the side.
School faces calls for firing a drag queen principal. The principal in Oklahoma is a drag queen. Can you please pull this picture for us? Pull this picture up for us to see it. So calls to fire drag queen principal Shane Mernon, also known as Chantel Mandalay.
Yeah, moonlights as a drag queen,
which
but
is
then
scary.
also previously was arrested on child porn.
20 years ago.
Yeah, and basically got away with it because of a technicality. I looked into this case, technicality, because they found what was clear to one judge and another judge was child porn, but then when they brought the trial forth, they couldn't identify the child. And so basically they were like, you can't prove this is actually a child, right? So they had to drop, I swear, because you have to be able to prove. So if I say that this is a child, even if it's abundantly clear to all of us this is a child, you have to be able to prove that, right? So it was clear enough that they arrested him. It was clear enough that a judge said this arrest holds, and then another judge said you actually have to be able to say who that child, like we have to be able to say that person is actually a minor, and they weren't able to do this. So the charges got dropped on a technicality, right? So he gets this expunged from his record, and then he somehow gets voted in a private ceremony. They came together, no parents were there, and they made him principal 20 years later. Arrested for child porn charges. Yeah.
What city in Oklahoma? Because if this goes down
in front of children,
if this goes down in LA, San Francisco,
and Moonlight's a drag queen.
Oklahoma. And Rob, can you show the photo? Could we just all be completely honest? And all the viewers out there, look how scary drag queens are. Like some people have like a clown phobia. Look how scary that guy is right there. Yeah. Look, zoom in on the guy on the right. What that looks like the penguin from Batman.
Worse pictures, by the way.
But they're scary. Like it's scary.
He says they're scary, man. I don't know. They don't scare me, because I know exactly what the fuck you are. All right, now, but I do want to show y'all this boxing match, right? Embarrassing. The ops.
Puños de Kelly no pudo contrarrestar.
Look at this shit.
Lo rápido que desenfundaba tanto la izquierda como la derecha.
Hold on.
Y en la parte de este tercer episodio se estuvo comiendo en reiteradas ocasiones.
Punching that girl all in the face like that. No conscience. Norman! That's what I be thinking about, man. Why would you go in the ring and beat this girl up like that? You know you could beat her. Double tap the screen, get the likes up, man. A man, I mean, just the way we built, you even could have a big woman in front of you. I don't think that there's any man that don't think that I could take Shorty down. I don't give a fuck how big she is. Bones is just soft. Women is just, I ain't saying there's not some amazing women out there that'll handle a dude. I'm just saying that a strong ass nigga like me, I know when I know I could beat a chick. Just because you go get some pills and act like you a woman, don't mean that you can't knock the chick out. Does it make you weaker?
Correcto.
For all you clowns out there that are saying it's no fair advantage to get transgender in women's sports, all of y'all.
Wu-Tang is here forever. Now, I'm about to go down a rabbit hole. I would let y'all know that. Matter of fact, you know what? Let's go down a rabbit hole. Let's go down a rabbit hole right now. RZA, Wu-Tang is here forever. The leader of the Wu-Tang clan is getting accused of some crazy shit. I don't want to be the person to tell you everything, but allegedly, this is Wu-Tang. RZA is from the Wu-Tang's blood cousin. And, salute the Doggy Diamonds, man. This shit is nasty. This rabbit hole shit. This ain't got nothing to do with Candace Owens, y'all.
You didn't say.
Oh, RZA, Raheem, Robert, Bobby. Shout out to my cousin.
So you were having a sexual.
I'm gonna shout him out now because I shouted him out in my yearbook when I graduated junior high school. Like, this is someone I trusted and loved. And then when I made my story born to my family, it was like
very confusing, and the comments are coming at her.
I was pushed aside. I was shunned away. I was ridiculed. You understand? It went through avenues it shouldn't have, especially being a woman. So now I'm dealing with being a woman, dealing with a woman was going through a woman's stage of life of going from like young woman to like coming from teen to young woman.
I'm gonna share Doggy Diamond's link with y'all so y'all can see the whole thing. I can't show the whole thing, but I just want y'all to listen to it.
And mixed feelings, and you respecting a man that your family loves and the world loves. So it's like that hurts. And you didn't give me the option the first time. And the other time it had to be under pressure. You understand what I'm saying? There was no beat you up and slam you across. Well, let me make that clear.
Right.
I'm just saying the mentality you created and then put me on a pedestal and then you snatch it away and then you create a narrative when I was just trying to seek help for what I was going through.
So Tay, let me slow down really quick and let me guide you through this really quick, if I may, for the audience clarity. You were having a sexual relationship with your cousin RZA, first cousin RZA.
Yes.
When did it start?
It started in 1998. That was Fashion Week in Europe. We went to Heathrow. We went to Heathrow. We stayed in Berlin. Then we went to Paris. Then we went to London. My uncle Ali, God bless the dead, was with us. God bless the dead, OGB was with us too.
So without.
Damn, Doggy said he was going to be releasing everything, man. Like, he's going to be exposing a lot of people, man.
Being graphic, how do you?
Fellatio, he walked into my room, got to it, and he was very embarrassed. He even wrote a note. He wrote a note. I ripped it up, actually burnt it, got rid of it, and then he pursued me throughout the tour until he was able to fly in whoever he wanted to fly in. But that's when it bugged me out too, because it was like, you're my cousin. It's like, you young girls, like your cousin is famous.
How old were you?
Good. And it's like, but it's wrong. But why would you do that to me?
She was grown. She was grown, y'all.
How old were you?
I was 17, 18 years old.
And how old was he?
1998. That was, and the crazy shit that's really crazy, because when I talk about it, what other thoughts come in.
How old was he at the time?
My cousin's, I think he's 15 years older than me, maybe 14, 15. I'm not sure. I don't even know how old my cousin is, actually. I can't even tell you. I think he may be 10, 15 years older than me.
This shit messy.
And, and this is the thing, our family is very close. And they're going to hate me for this. A lot of people are. I've never even, this crazy shit, nobody knows that I'm doing this right now. It's just me and you.
Right.
This is my piece. I've spoken about this to my family, my children. Everybody has their own opinion, but when it comes down to it, I'm feeling it, and we all feel it when I'm in the presence in places. So let's just get to it. So now that the narrative is going around, I'm asking for help. I'm going to this one, telling my story, how it happened, giving great details, and even seeing that it may be happening in other people, but that's not my liberty to say. But I know what I see. But my thing is, it takes a lot for me to sit here. I have daughters, and I'm not looking for a fucking payout. Right. I'm looking for my cousin to own up to his accountability and the position he put me in.
So let me ask you something, Tay. So it happened.
I used to do these sort of interviews back in the day.
Was y'all like kissing cousins, flirty at first?
No, never ever. I would have never thought that.
Right.
It never came across my mind.
Was he drunk, high?
I don't know. I know we went to a party. We drank some champagne. It was my first time in Europe, and it was just like he pressured me to be here. Like I just started working for them. I graduated Curtis High School.
Mm-hmm.
That was 97. I started working for them.
How did it start? I understand, but how did this?
The week after I graduated Curtis, that was like June 27th.
Double tap the screen and go to the top right, hit the 3 dots. That's where the subscribe button is at, y'all.
1997, like I could count the dates. Feel what I'm saying? So I was the first on Razor Sharp Records.
Okay.
I was receptionist.
Okay.
And I was grateful to have a little job work with my cousins. They was popular and shit like that. They came to my graduation. It's like, we fucking family. Like this is something that I would have never imagined.
Right.
But you really think I want to say that and make him look bad? You talking about a legacy.
Right.
So of other men who will be looked upon just because of who they standing by.
Right. This is
tough. So we all have accountability, and then maybe
salute to everybody that's been moderating and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna moderate my own channel from now on, y'all. Okay. You know what I mean? Everybody else, you know what I'm saying? Sector, I see y'all. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that QR code. But I'm gonna let everybody say whatever they want, and I'll put the words that's supposed to be hidden in the chat. Matter of fact, I'm gonna even tighten it up. I'm gonna put more words in there. So if you got some dumb shit, you know what I'm saying, that's gonna sidetrack my show and my money, you know what I mean? It'll catch it, and I'll pay attention to the comments. You know what I'm saying? Now that's me just taking the wrenches. The next step, I'm gonna block you niggas off my channel.
People who know about it, I'm not going
to go to TSTV and go play over there.
Because I'm not going to point fingers.
Right.
But the idea is that that's not their business, and whoever felt this.
Don't nobody moderate better than me. The best way I can moderate is let people say whatever the fuck they want in the chat. Because the words that's going to stop my money, I already put them in there. So I don't need to do nothing. Matter of fact, thing I got to do is just listen to her expose her cousin.
Should have been there to say something. No one said nothing. My parents, my mother, my father, my sisters, my brothers. And I can't say even my closest cousins.
I'm trying to get money, nigga. If y'all niggas ain't trying to get next to no money, you know what I mean? You don't need to be next to me, homie. Real talk. Fuck your politics, okay? I refuse. You see that? See how quick the numbers go down? When I play in the sector, I'm not playing. Don't bring the sector here. That's it. Where Miss Benzo? Is Miss Benzo, you still here? Let me know. Miss Benzo, you here? DBN, you here? Jason raised me. Anybody else? You know what I'm saying? Just stay close. You'll be all right. Be all right. Hate doing shit like this, but you know what? Let's just do that. Let's just fucking do that. Now, if y'all want to go suck my dick behind my back, go ahead and do that. You want to play with me? You want to play any games with Mac Man? Let's play games, okay? If it ain't about no fucking money, man, it's Ramadan. I got a very bad attitude, all right? If it ain't about no fucking money, I don't give a fuck about it. Real talk.
They sisters and brothers. Like, this shit is for real. This is not, and I'm saying it because now that he's given is that we're in an orgy, drunk and infused. Like, see, now you're not gonna fucking play with me.
So, all right. So what you told me off the camera was it happened once, and then it happened how many more times?
It happened several more times. It happened throughout the tour, like maybe once or twice after while we were in Europe. It happened when we came back in Jersey at his mansion. It happened since I left to Florida, it happened sometimes out there. And it was like everything was under pressure. And let me just say, it was no let me choke you out or put a gun to you. It was more like I needed it. He know that because I relied on my family.
Man, yeah.
Yeah, I'm on Section 8, nigga. I get to welfare office fund of heartbeat, but what I'm saying is.
Yeah, enjoy your night. I'll get with y'all soon. Fuck out of here, man.